Welcome everybody to the 90s Kid YouTube channel. Today we're going to be playing Metroid. On my right, I have Chris.
Hello.
Chris will be on the sticks. Chris grew up a Metroid gamer.
It's the only game I was allowed to play.
And why is that?
I'm just making that up. But I mean, it's the only game I really allowed myself to play.
I thought it was because your parents, they didn't trust like Italian plumbers.
Well, there was something... man, we started...
There was an
Italian
affair
plumbers.
in the family.
Right. Well, we're Belgian. And, clearly that just makes sense.
Or maybe, well, because your parents are, like, your dad's kind of scientific, right?
He's electrically minded, I'd say.
So I could see him...
He's part robot. Yeah, I think this is why.
He can relate.
Well,
yeah.
It was a cold childhood, and this game's very cold. And
he didn't like to turn the heat on.
Actually, he still doesn't. Well, anyway, to the point. Yes, no, played this game a lot as a kid. I liked anything that was like this level of Nintendo designed game.
What do you mean, like
I don't know,
mostly Nintendo?
There's a simplicity to it. It throws you in an environment that feels actually like you're not playing a game. It was something, and it could be just because it was so new. Like I played this game when it came out. Like my friend coming home buying it when the system came out.
Oh, really?
And,
you're right in the ground floor.
Right. So,
and that's the point of the episode, is that Chris was on the ground floor. I'm way over in the future on a different type of building where I didn't grow up with Metroid, didn't really get it. So I want to see if it holds up for me as a game I've never really played. I played it a little bit. And for Chris, I kind of want to see like what your experience is like. When's the last time you played this?
I play it annually.
Oh, okay.
Like, for sure, I at least touch it for a bit, and for the most part, I'll play it. Sometimes do it proper and really challenge myself, and then other times, I'll totally just load up every fucking walkthrough I find and just walk my way through it so I can feel it again. Because there's certain things.
You sound like a heroin addict chasing the dragon.
There's a lot of frustration, that can happen when you play certain parts of this game because there's no direction. There's in Super Metroid already
it's actually, that's starting to feel how this intro is. So speaking of no direction,
right?
Let's get into the game. Let's give the people what they wanted to see. Now let's maybe have a moment of silence for this badass intro, okay? All right, I think that's long enough.
I mean, that's good. This is. Should I press start? Because this goes in a beautiful place.
The song changes?
Oh, the song, yes, but
wow. Now, how many kids do you think would never? Oh, I guess you have the story. Defeat the Metroid of the planet Zebeth and destroy the mother brain, the mechanical life vein. Oh, it's a nice little rap.
Could you imagine though, if you're actually in your own ship arriving on a planet, that is what you would get. You would just get this simple easy to transfer throughout space text message telling you what to do, scaring the shit out of you. There's no talking heads or weird characters, no personification. That's what makes this game special to me. You really feel like someone arriving on this place.
The Galaxy Federal Police.
Right? Now, I think the music's about to go off on a tangent, so I'm happy to press start.
It goes even further than this?
Yeah. There's the next change. It's coming up, and we could count the beats, but I feel like the audience wouldn't care.
Well, I just want to hear this. I want to hear the C section.
So here we are. Even swings, and with the epic
it's like a polyrhythm.
Radiohead finish. The na 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 na. Sorry, I'll try not to sing along. By the way,
yeah, we'll try not to.
But it'll happen.
That bass drop,
right? And now we're back to square one. So
right, let's do it.
So now we can just hit start, and you're immediately launched.
Okay. Oh, I didn't really notice the faces on the top left and the top right.
Yeah,
there's Oh, and they're on the ground too.
Yeah, what do you call those things?
I guess
gargoyles of sorts, but they're not prevalent throughout the whole game, and whenever they do appear, they seem to signify something of importance.
Okay.
You're in a good spot.
Now we're playing this with a PlayStation 4 controller, so you're going to hear a lot of clicking and clacking.
Yes.
That's just
on the other hand, the good news is that my hands are being cut by crazy sharp corners, from the original NES controller.
I remember people saying that the N64 controller was slicing people down.
Well, it would hurt your thumb. The N64's middle I guess analog controller was just, it was vicious.
It was. You know? It was still pretty revolutionary at the time. Like, it looks so archaic now, and when it came out, like a lot of stuff Nintendo does, people think like, what are you doing? What is this thing? Why does it have 3 handles? That really blew people away. But then you started playing.
There were times though where you really did grasp that middle one, you know, and you would change the position of your controller. Do you know what I mean?
What, the N64 controller?
Certain games, yeah, you wouldn't be holding it edge to edge. You would definitely grab that that tripod center. Oh
yeah, I'd say almost the majority of the time.
Right.
We'd be working that. Always thought it felt a little weird when you switched to
the wide one. I can't even think. I would think maybe only in like a Mario Kart situation. Maybe
I played a lot of the wrestling games, and you would always use the D-pad.
Right.
And the joystick was used just for taunts. But we found out. You know what I hate when people say "on accident."
When they say what?
When they say "on accident."
On accident, yeah.
Yeah, instead of by accident.
By accident is the worst. On accident, and when people say, "Close the light."
Close the light
instead of turn off the light.
How about people say, "Can you pick me from the airport"?
I didn't even know that. That's like tantamount to be like, "Let's go hang out at mine," instead of "my place."
Yours or mine.
Yours or mine. It's just like super asshole British.
How about when people say, "irregardless"?
Well, that's just not a word.
No, it's not.
Right? You know, regardless is all you need. If you need to ear, you can irrespective. That's fine, because that's still actually, you know, proper.
That's a nice one.
And everyone wins.
Now these guys that come out of the pipes, they're real.
They're a menace, but at the same time, they're like one of the best sources of.
Right. Because you kind of farm in this game, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. If you need shit, you hang out by these pointy face motherfuckers, and it's a consistent enemy style throughout the game. Like that one type of animal, although you see it in various forms, it always does the same thing. It comes out of a pipe vertically and then shoots across horizontally. So anyway, grabbing some missiles. I've got as far as I need to at this point. I'm gonna walk my ass back.
What a pro!
Because I'm hurting though.
I like how they have the Mario sound. Yeah, that was the thing. Is sometimes if you jump up and then you land. And because they stop like wherever you are, right? Those guys coming out of the pipes.
Everything in this, every enemy is vicious. Good thing about the one I just killed is he'll give me some good. He'll give me at least 20 points. The average like little food tablet or whatever the fuck those energy balls, they're like 5 points, but the bigger enemies will give you 20.
What I like about these guys that come down to the ground is that there's a bit of a risk and reward. Where if you don't shoot them in time, they explode, right?
Yeah.
So you went close enough to use your little snub nose laser. You kind of have to walk into that danger. I think that's a really good design decision.
Well, the first thing you do in this game is realize how shit your snub nose laser is, and the first thing I'm going to do, which is why I grabbed those missiles, is grab the long beam.
Okay, long beam's next on the docket.
That's where we're going.
Now I had tried playing Metroid. I think a couple months ago, you and me were going to do, I said, let's do a whole episode where I'll beat Metroid and then we'll talk about it. And I probably put like a couple days into it, but I ended up like watching a guy on YouTube and trying to like just follow him along. And it's a pretty daunting game to just jump into. And I think that's, like a lot of people say, that's the point. Like there's always that.
Right. I mean, my daunting first experience of this game was being 6 years old.
Oh my God.
And playing, and at the same, and I couldn't finish it then. I had friends who could. They were just, I guess, smarter. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
were they 6 as well?
Yeah. They were the same age. But they own the system. I didn't own Metroid as a little kid.
But see, it has to be something you have at home that you're playing every day. And
I was borrowing. I actually saved up the money to buy Metroid, and there was like one store at the time, like near my parents' house, where you could actually buy Nintendo games. Like it wasn't like you could just go everywhere, or you know. And we went to this one in Pickering, which is because I grew up.
We're recording this in Toronto. Yeah, Pickering is a suburb of Toronto.
I grew up in Scarborough, and we went to this place, and I'd saved up the money to buy it. But when I got there, they were out of Metroid. But I was so like, no, I need a game.
What?
So I bought Kid Icarus.
Oh,
which is made by the same people, and it's a pretty badass game. Like
it's a badass game, but it's the most. I'm glad you ended up with something you like, because that's the most disappointing thing to ever happen. Oh my gosh!
For them to be out of a game and for you just to substitute what you buy just because you needed a game.
Yeah, I did that where I left the house one day and I I was a teenager and I hopped on the bus. I'd saved up a bit of money. I just didn't put any like research or thought into it. I think I just assumed whatever mall I went to would have this game, and that I had enough money for it. I wanted Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. It's a puzzle game, and you fight, and it's got Street Fighter characters. Here we go. The unlocking the first door, the missiles. And I went to the mall and they didn't have it, and then I was just like,
okay, so I'm severely. I actually went to the wrong spot and I forgot, but this is cool because this is the gateway to the end of the game. So
Right.
like, in order for you to get past this part, like, there's no way if I go down there, I'm dead.
yeah.
And you know, I need to beat both of these bosses, and those are the bosses.
Oh, I see. So
it's
they're like a statue
discovery,
saying.
a discovery point is pretty cool because this is like, oh wow, what are these monsters that I need? You know,
Right.
they look scary, and this music, oh man. Anyway, so now I just need to get more missiles, and that's no problem because someone will deliver here.
Now that's a great. You know, I don't know if you've played Demon Souls or Dark Souls or Bloodborne or any of those ones.
I played Bloodborne with you.
Right, that's right. Yeah, we played it on Halloween. And that guy, Miyazaki, he's a real master of level design in a way that kind of reminds me of this, where like, if that's the entrance to the final boss, and that's like pretty much where you start off in the game. Now, he does the same thing where wherever you go, say you take a shortcut, he'll find a way to make that shortcut kind of like loop around, rather than just kind of hitting a dead end and having to backtrack.
Right.
And when you are about maybe 3/4 of the way through a level, he'll always include a shortcut back to the start of that level, because it's you have a hub and then you warp to these different spots. So he kind of makes it that, because you have to backtrack a lot, he's always working on ways to, he's always including ways to kind of make backtracking a little easier. He's just like, it's like very well thought out, and I just think that that's so cool that in a game this old that they would think of something like that. This is probably the first game that had something like that, where here's where the boss is right away, and you have to go and try to find your way into it. I mean, really, what was before this game? Even when Mario first came out, just the idea of having those levels that tied together, those different 8 worlds, that felt like a grand adventure, like a story. Zelda really blew everything away.
100%.
But what, do you know which one came out first, the first Zelda or this? This was 1986?
I think Zelda came out before Metroid.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that Metroid came out in 87, and that I could be wrong, gamers. You're all gonna murder me, but
yeah, I think it was 86.
And I think that Zelda was 86, and Mario was like 85 or something, right? Like when the Nintendo first came out. So, and then there was Gyromite. That was some fun. This is like a very fucking petrifying moment. I have almost no power and some serious beasts after me.
You got missiles.
But I don't want to lose the missiles. I need them to open the door. Yes. I'll be fine. As you notice, I did not get hurt.
Not even scratched. While maintaining a conversation.
Right. That was the hardest part.
Excellent job.
And so, well, no.
Oh, don't waste it on that guy.
Well, I realize. So now, I've rectified my pain, because here's my long beam. And later in Super Metroid, what was dope is that these little weird, like, alien dudes that hold your weaponry sometimes come to life and kick the shit out of you.
In Super Metroid?
Yeah.
I played a bit of Super Metroid too. I thought it was the intro was pretty exhilarating.
I feel like I'm allowed to...
Because in that one, that has like the countdown timer, right? Where you have to escape?
Yeah, basically they put you back into the end of this game, and they repeat something that you have to do, which is to climb up there before the place explodes. That happens at the end of this game. So it's almost like a repetition of the end of this game with a slight twist. It's not quite the same map.
Okay. So they change up the...
Oh yeah, they definitely... I mean, they made it cool. I mean, Super Metroid came out late in the game, I think, for Super NES.
Did it? 90...
Yeah, it was one of those ones because...
94, 95?
Which is like, it's unbelievable to me that I didn't even really know that it existed.
Not even you.
Not even me. So I think I just quick saved my life.
Now we are playing this on an emulator. We have the copy, of course. We both have a copy of this game, of course.
Oh man.
But it's just easier to broadcast this stuff.
Yeah.
With an emulator. It's just a million times easier.
And I feel pretty good because I'm using these D-pads, which is like Super Nintendo. Not Super Nintendo, but super as in very Nintendo.
Oh,
In my mind, it is anyway. So let me think here. I think I need to go this way.
Oh, I was gonna say how you were mentioning that this came out at the end of the life cycle. I always find that really interesting. Games that come out right near the end of a console's. Oh, pushing it, Chris. Games that come out right at the end of a cycle because, for one, developers have been developing for that console long enough that they've been able to really unlock the power of it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Super Mario 3 compared to Super Mario 1.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, they look like they're on different systems.
Yeah, they do.
And I mean, look at like Super Mario World compared to Donkey Kong Country.
Right.
Games that came out really late.
Yeah,
But
Donkey Kong Country is amazing.
Oh yeah, it really is. I mean, it like really blew away with. It kind of like really separated what they were doing from Genesis.
So,
I mean, Genesis tried with like Vectorman and Comic Zone, which were actually pretty games and stuff, but they just didn't really have the game design to hold up. But anyways. Another great thing about that, other than just having the technology, is that sometimes they're really forgotten.
Right.
Like Zelda Majora's Mask. Ocarina of Time is such a watershed moment for people when Zelda stepped into 3D, and it was just a huge title for the N64. I mean, just about everybody going to N64 played Mario and played that game if they played anything.
Right.
But Majora's Mask kind of snuck in. It had a very oh my God, what a close call.
It's important to get out of these. I find the heart monitor reassuring sometimes.
Still alive. Slightly elevated.
Yeah, it just makes me feel like it's okay. Whoa. These always creep me out. They look like a little bit like angry lettuce.
Like your mom trying to force feed you vegetables?
Right, something like that. So this guy's...
Oh,
yeah,
he's gonna... Oh, I love that they would come through the doors, too.
That's the scariest shit to happen in this game.
So far, in our case of does it hold up or not, I think it does.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of action. I'm able to dodge shit and do things that feel like... I'm still getting a lot of fun out of the controller. I don't feel like I'm... You know what it is? It's dynamic, too. It's like when you jump, there's different levels. I hate games where, like, you hit the jump button, and there's no, like, I can jump short, or I can jump higher if I want to,
And then do the forward flip.
Or just jump and press forward.
Which becomes a really powerful
because you don't
attack.
always want to do that flip.
Right.
The flip is good later too, where you get like the various suit and you get the oh shit, what's it called? The thing that kills people when you spin.
Yeah,
spin
the
jump. Spin attack. That's
when you finally get that. I actually have played a little bit more of this than I thought, actually, because I've gotten to the spin jump part. But I mean, with a walkthrough, it doesn't take long to get to that stuff.
Right.
But when you get that spin jump and you start going through all those guys that were giving you trouble before, that's the greatest feeling.
Oh my god. Definitely one of the
because you don't. Now it's just jump right at me, man.
So for anyone who's wondering where I'm going right now, I'm one of the most crucial and amazing things about this game is the fact that you can have this morph ball and roll, but that the morph ball has its own weaponry.
The bomb.
So I'm about to pick up the bomb.
A bomb.
Much better health now.
Oh, I like how
you know what? I gotta say, on an actual Nintendo controller,
yeah,
that might have been slightly harder to have like actually had that battle between me and the to get the oh no, you know what? I'm still sucking.
What, to get this guy?
Well, to get him, he's good. He takes a lot of shots with your normal shitty like normal standard weaponry.
Oh, I see. You got your 5 missiles. Yeah, I mean, those little Nintendo controllers, they definitely were a real cut above anything before them.
I had a ColecoVision. I never knew what the number pad was for.
But it was there.
It was there.
Atari Jaguar brought that back. Remember when they had their 64-bit
that was a system I've never actually seen in person.
There was a computer store right where my mom would go grocery shopping, and they always had a Jaguar up when I was
really
that age. And I would play Alien vs Predator, and it actually was kind of powerful. It just quickly got really blown away by like PlayStation and N64 because it had better titles, but it really felt like you were playing a computer. And they had a lot of very computer-centric titles, like they had a first-person shooter, Alien vs. Predator.
Oh, okay.
And I think you could control the different...
Wow, that must have come out late, because... Oh, no, they made the Jaguar was the game. It came out in the mid-90s, early 90s?
What, the movie? No, the movie came out 2000s. There was a series of books, though. So they had a universe.
Graphic novels or something.
No, actual novels. I used to read them. They were great. They were like really serious. They really took being the Predator very seriously. and they have their own language, obviously. But they took like the whole honor thing, and they made them into these like total badass, honorable samurai type race.
The aliens.
No, the Predator. The Predators.
Right, you're right, yeah.
And they would, because they were the ones planting the aliens on different planets, because they would come back and they'd bring their young to fight. They're like very Klingon-esque.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, I could see that. They just had no time for like Schwarzenegger and the humans. Are just like.
No, yeah, and then they just started hunting humans, I guess, when they were there, and then realized he was like the ultimate game.
But they only had one dude.
Oh, the one Predator that got sent down? Yeah. That was one I think that movie still really holds up, and there's some like really funny moments, like Get to the Chopper and the way Schwarzenegger delivers his lines, but I thought that was a really great movie, and it had kind of a nice horror feel to it, as well as that bit of campy 80s action.
For me, nothing beats RoboCop for like 80s, like just everything in that movie.
Yeah, and that was
so
very
over the top. The same with like Total Recall, which I believe is the same director, right? They're both they just go off on crazy tangents.
Colin Farrell, you mean?
Oh god, that shitty remake. Now I'm really hoping here that...
No, he directed the original, right?
No, he had nothing to do with the original.
No,
Colin Farrell?
He has nothing to do with almost anything good.
No, he's just
except for Phone Booth.
What's it?
What are these little guys?
Yeah, they're one of the
Look
most...
at the distortion going on when that guy hangs out in your life bar.
There's always those like those slowdowns too.
Yeah. Just like Mega Man was big on the slowdown.
It's like, we're overwhelmed.
Oh, you're one
missile short.
Now, I was reading some developer stuff about this, and they said they had so little memory to make this game that they're like, well, we want to include more weapons, but we don't want to use... We have no more memory room. So they said, well, let's just make one of them an ice gun, and we'll just change it to blue. That doesn't take more memory.
Right.
And then the effect of it, just making the enemy turn a different color and stopping, doesn't take any more animations or anything. So they didn't have to redraw. And it's genius that...
Well, I mean, that like makes the whole game. The ice beam,
yeah,
is like...
So they started planning the game around that, because how else were you going to ascend these levels without being able to freeze the floating...
Oh yeah, I mean, there's certain ways. There's certain ways. This is frustrating that I don't have enough missiles right now.
Where do you get missiles from?
You know, from killing people. Right now,
just
I don't have enough jump. Well,
okay.
To get through there, but the nice glitch is there, right? So you have to wait till the...
Is that hard to time that?
I just know the timing. Innately, yeah, it's built in.
Do you have any other games that you play yearly, or like?
Yeah. Okay, well, for sure. Like when it comes to NES, there's standards. Like Ninja Gaiden for sure is to me, and the funny thing is, I never really owned Ninja Gaiden 2, and there's some upgrades within Ninja Gaiden 2, like when you jump on a wall, which you could cling to.
Yeah.
In Ninja Gaiden 1, in Ninja Gaiden 2, you can cling to and climb up it. Whereas in Ninja Gaiden 1, you could only climb up if there was a ladder like built into the surface, right? And Ninja Gaiden 2, nowhere near as good as Ninja Gaiden 1, in my opinion. There's just something. They always had the perfect ingredients, the early Nintendo games.
I think it's... Now it seems like it's almost the opposite, where usually the sequel ends up being a little bit better, because there's so much risk coming to making a video game, and the huge amount of, like, 18 people made Final Fantasy 6.
Wow.
Called Final Fantasy 3 here. And that's a massive game too. And then, you know, the N64 era, PlayStation 1 era was like teams of 50, and then it went to 100 for the next generation, and then 150, and like 200, and now it's like upwards of 300 people are making a game, and they're making less money on them now, because games are actually quite cheap. Because do you remember how much you paid for Nintendo games, like 8-bit Nintendo games?
Yeah, it was more. It's just as expensive it is now, and if you account for inflation, like holy fuck. Man, so I was paying like $80. I think I paid $80 for Kid Icarus, and as like a kid in grade 1, you imagine the amount of saving I had to do with whatever. You know, I was helping my brother deliver newspapers, probably giving me like $1 a month. I don't know, and some birthdays in the mix. I think my brother and I actually pulled together to buy that game. So.
I think pooling together to get a game makes sense, because you only have so much time you can really spend with it, and you can also play it together too.
Oh man, yeah. Well, there's a few. The other one for Nintendo that I love that I don't play annually because you really need it on the. It was just such a tough fucking game. Is Iron Sword.
I don't even know that.
Iron Sword is I believe, the sequel to Wizards and Warriors.
Oh, okay.
And it's more involved. It's to me one of my favorite games. The cover art featured Fabio.
No way.
As the main character holding a sword. So it was like the first, like, probably potentially one of the earliest games to use a celebrity in their like marketing. You know, if you think about a Nintendo game and like how that felt, and like now how video games are like marketed with, like, you know, they use big names like that.
Anna Kendricks is in the Star Wars one,
right? Yeah, and like Clash of Clans has like that Kate Upton, I believe.
Oh my god,
right?
They make her look so awful in that. It's like they've never seen a girl before.
Yeah,
like,
well, it's
that's hurting her brand. Every time I see those commercials, I'm like, man, they make her look like a bag of potatoes.
It's the fantasy genre. It's just the guys who like the typical shit, you know. That's who they go after. So I have acquired now the Ice Beam.
I think Kate Upton's pretty cool, and I like that they just went with a very like more regular looking person with more regular features. I mean, obviously she's like statuesque and has.
Well, she's you know, she's a girl next door thing. So just the point of thing is, like, there's two of these screens that are identical like this.
Right.
The previous one I got the Ice Beam.
Right.
If I go down here, it's like an abyss with only those guys to freeze and jump to get back.
So
up.
If you went down,
I would be stuck
in
there. If I had no Ice Beam, it'd be over. I'd have to reset the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'd have to use a save point.
That's if that ever happened now, people would think the game's broken.
So like down there, I mean that portion that's it. Like going down there is, and I remember as a kid, because you weren't playing on an emulator. You couldn't just quick save.
No.
You would sit there and get out of that mess. And I don't know, it was just like, you know, you knew you had done something wrong, so you went with the punishment.
Yeah.
Kids these days, you know?
Well, they bank on the kids knowing that they can be punished. The game,
right?
Your punishment and your timeout is like you have to like redo all of this stuff.
Exactly.
But then you get to know the levels better, right?
100%.
Because you're, you know, having to redo it. But I mean, using the bombs to blow up that blue stuff is sort of an advanced technique. So I don't know if somebody would have went down there without an ice beam. It could happen. I mean, like
bombing, it becomes pretty regular in the game. You know?
And how would you ever know to bomb to blow that stuff up?
I mean,
it's just
experimentation. I think, honestly, like when I was young and I was playing this game, I would like sit there and be bombing like wherever I was going, just like this, like get around by even just bouncing and seeing what happens. You know. Anyway, so
it's a great strategy. You're down to 16 health. 8.
Well, that's okay.
It takes off 8 health. Wow.
Well, right now
it's like going up and down a street and how fast the numbers go.
We don't have the Varia suit, so we're very vulnerable.
Varia suit.
Yeah.
We're very vulnerable.
We're very vulnerable. Actually, right now it would be a good time to get some additional energy packs. So I'm at 8 health, as you say, but I also have a full energy tank, so I'm not.
Oh, I see. So you're like 108.
Yeah, we don't have any beeping going on because anything below 20 would have.
How did I not?
Would have set us off.
Notice that.
I would have been way more anxious.
Okay. To get anxious, what's the hardest part in this game? The final boss?
Oh my god, yes, definitely the final boss is. It's almost too painful. I find like I hate when you fight any boss in any game where it's like there's no way to be completely unscathed. In my mind, I mean, I'm sure there's some kid who's sat there and played this game with a metronome and like figured out the timing of how jumps are supposed to be executed, like a Mario speed run and bouncing off every last thing. But playing the mother brain in this game, I have never not been almost completely killed every time I fight her. Like, it's just from every direction you are being like shot at with different types of things that you don't even understand. And it's like, and then you know, you're hovering above a pool of lava that you're almost always being knocked into, and you have to stand on something the size of like a thumbnail. So this is a nice little trick. To like, okay, we're gonna get you to follow me. Perfect. Oh, yeah, come on, jump.
Whoa. Oh, yes.
So otherwise I would have needed the high jump to do that. And I still think I would have required freezing him But that's a nice way to get that extra energy tank early in the game.
Wow.
So now I feel a bit more comfortable at 283. The thing about that is though, like, you know, generally I find when I was a kid, you would fight your way to get to a boss, and by the time you reached him, you would be out of energy.
Right.
But then, you know, they always had one of those places, almost, I think before both bosses, you encounter a room where there's one of those enemies that come up from the ground and then vertically and then shoot across horizontally.
Okay.
And then they continue on. And you just sit there.
Farming tank.
You sit there and farm, you know, 5 points at a time until you filled up all your energy tanks. I've spent, and then of course they build into the game where it's like they know you're trying to get it. So like 10 enemies in a row will like not give you any kind of power up. It's like a lot of time they just built all these sort of random things in this game.
That's when you know you're playing a great game, when those little details come in, when it's just like those tiny things you appreciate. And you get it, because we're trying to figure out the system, and when you're gaming the system for them to kind of call you on it and make that happen. They do that in those Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne too, where because you farm health from guys.
Right.
Well, no, you farm resources that you spend on weapons and leveling up.
Right.
So, and you can keep going back to these areas, but they start dropping less and less. So the first time you go through, you're getting tons, but if you want to keep going back, it's
right,
not as good. It takes a lot from this game.
Same with Zelda. Like, if you notice, and you're walking through each castle, I call them castles. Maybe it's dungeons.
Which Zelda?
The original, the NES one.
Did you complete that one?
Oh, many times. I used to go to my friends. Friends would like invite me over to watch me clear it in like 2 hours when I was a little kid. I was like, "Come over, I'll just watch you play," and of course I agreed to it. I love Zelda. The weird thing is like there was no internet, so it was like not like I could just go look up the secrets. So I don't even remember. I must have had like a Nintendo Power, or there were some other books that, you know, I bought to let me know at least where all the places you could bomb. Like just like in this game, you know, you could bomb places. In Zelda, the bomb was one of the candlestick, which produced fire, a flame, and later the wand would either like blow up rock, or the bombs would blow doors open through in dungeons and out in the like normal outer world. You know, the candlestick would burn, what do you call it, like bushes, and you would find, no, come on, I didn't even need to do that anyway. Let's forego this. So right now, everything that I've been doing is this game has the potential, I think, to like make you go into some of the harder worlds and then backtrack to get certain power-ups later in the game. But I am trying to do it without going further and getting all of the things I need.
Okay, this is like a completionist run.
Right.
Of Metroid.
Because like right now, where I'm going, there's two things in this area that have value to me, and one of them is an energy tank, and the other, and which I'll get first, and the other is the Varia suit, which when you're in Norfair, which is like the lava level leading to Ridley, you know, you fall in the lava a lot, and the Varia suit, against enemies and lava and everything, it just protects you. However, conventional wisdom would suggest that you need the high jumping boot to get the Varia suit, which is buried deep in Norfair, which sucks to go into without the Varia suit. So anyway, that's my nerd talk for the minute. I got some missiles.
Well, we are playing Metroid.
We are playing Metroid.
I think it's okay to be nerdy about Metroid.
Yeah, it's always okay to be nerdy. All right.
It really is. I've always thought that that's the big difference between a nerd and a geek. Whereas a nerd is a bit like you're a regular person that can nerd out on a particular subject.
Right.
Like anyone can nerd out on something. Even the coolest guy in the world might be a super nerd about, 1950s cars or motorcycles or
right. As long as you're not as fast.
Guns. But then there's geeks. And the geeks are the ones who are like loud and proud about it and are and they're just kind of in your face, and like someone might go into their electronics store and be like, excuse me, like, is this like the right adapter? I kind of want to like upload my download or something. They're like, well, actually.
Yeah, it's comic store dude from The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's the geek. Whereas a nerd, I think, knows how to like knows how to act around people that maybe don't know the names of all the Metroid areas, or have never played, not even played Metroid once. You know, so I think that's really the main difference. I always felt like a nerd where I can, it's like, and that's kind of like being a superhero, where you might just be mild-mannered Clark Kent one day, but then you can put on your superhero outfit of knowing everything about Metroid or whatever you're into, like comic books.
Right. Yeah. It's more expert without being an asshole.
Yeah, that's it. Expert without the asshole.
Right.
So does the soundtrack ever? Oh, it changes for the different areas, right?
Different areas.
Because this has just been like pumping for a long time.
Right. Oh, 100%. So this is another fun little trick in the game. It's a tough one. This one actually, because you have to keep this area open, and you need that guy to go up that hole. It doesn't work unless he goes up that.
Well, you can't just jump on the bottom one.
Oh shit. No. So basically, because once you're up there, if you have the high jump, right, then he might be stuck in there. Okay, good. You'll see why this is all worth it in a minute.
Can't you just jump and then land like that?
No, but the problem is that I need him up there.
Oh, I see.
And I think I need to leave and come back. I could go get the high boot, but then that's a whole bunch of travel there and back. Whereas if I get him to go up there,
right.
There we go.
Oh,
I pressed pause and I fucked everything up.
How come he doesn't want to go all the way up?
I don't know. I mean, I don't remember it being this tricky. And
Are you sure this wasn't a Kid Icarus secret?
No, I know for sure. Go.
This is like, remember when there's a screensaver for older computers and there'd be an object that would just sort of bounce around?
Right.
And you'd watch it just keep bouncing around and around and around, but you always want it to like go into the perfect corner of the screen. Yeah. They did that on an episode of the American version of The Office, where they're watching one of Michael's speeches, watching it and like waiting for it, and it keeps getting really close, and they're reacting to that, but he thinks they're reacting to his speech.
Right.
And then he finishes, and it goes into the corner, and they all cheer, and he's like so happy. I like what he did. I mean, the British Office I think is better. It's like it's a classic show. It just it really set a tone for how sitcoms were changing and comedy was changing, and like Ricky Gervais just captured being around awkward people that are your boss, that you have to sort of smile and nod. Whereas Steve Carell took it, I mean, he's a comic genius, but he took it in a way different direction, where it was more, he was the star of the show rather than the kind of people around him. Right. He was more like, he was actually like, even though he's annoying, he was like still entertaining, even if he was your boss.
100%. So, did I shoot him too high?
Yeah.
I did! And the frustrating thing is, I think I could probably only shoot him once more before he blows up.
Oh, wow. You can only take so much.
Right, so this is the challenging way. Did I do it again? I did. I get a running
If
start.
he keeps on thawing, he'll blow up?
Well, I could shoot him again, and I think he'll blow up. There's maybe one or two more.
Well, just, do it right.
Oh, you gotta be kidding. Like, every time?
I don't even think you could do that if you tried.
I have a feeling like we're screwed. We'll see. He doesn't need to be that high, and that's the worst part. You can't even get close to that.
You're just trying to get up to there?
Yeah, but you can't reach it without this jump point. No! Oh my.
Why don't you wait till he's way closer over on that side, like right now?
Yeah,
you can jump and shoot horizontal, right?
Yeah, I can.
Like, just do that.
Perfect. So, sometimes you just need a voice of reason, or someone who's never played the game to, put
my uncle is really into construction. He's like a real manly dude. He rides a huge motorcycle, and he lives up on a mountain on a house that he built out of wood. And he has a tree right in the middle of his house that he built a staircase around. Like, he's just an insane builder and like a real manly man. Huge mustache, if I didn't already mention that. And he was building a deck for my grandmother, and it was rotting out, and he brought like the men of the family together to build it. And I was there also, but they didn't really
not being a man of the family.
Yeah, there it's like, oh, Matt's the musician nerd guy. So I was kind of like, hey, you need any help there, Uncle Jack? And they're like, you know, making me pick up some stuff. I still wanted to help out. And there was a problem.
You're on plaster dry duty.
Yeah.
Watching the
the equivalent of like giving a controller that's not plugged into a little kid. And
right.
like, yeah, you're playing too.
We used to give her a controller too and play. It was torture.
But it looks like the Xbox symbol.
And I became pink. Oh. So now I have the various. So
how long have we been playing? Like 40 minutes? And you're already this far?
I've gotten all the things that you can possibly get in the main world now, which is, you know, I have that suit. I have
ice beam, long beam.
I have the bombs. I have missiles. I found all. What do you call it?
So, anyways, back to my story.
Yeah.
I know you found some stuff in Metro. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, anyways, there's this problem where they're trying to build something. They're trying to put some like wood down and have it join up, and it's just not working. Where they're building is a very awkward place. That was an awesome secret, though. Very well done, Chris. That was awesome. And I made a suggestion like, well, I need to do it like this, and not being a construction guy, you know, that to them it was like ludicrous. Like,
right.
Yeah, sure, Matt, we'll do that. And they kept trying to fix it, and like nothing else that he was trying was working. And then I noticed half an hour later he was like very silently doing what I'm like, oh, he's taking my advice, but he didn't say anything. And I went over, I'm like, what are you doing there, Uncle Jack? He's just like, shut up. I don't know why it worked. It's a fluke. But sometimes the point is like, I've heard someone else say, another construction guy, he's like, you gotta have somebody at the job site that's lazy and smart, because they will find a way to do something that's just way faster.
Always.
Outside of the box.
Well, because there's the thing about lazy people is generally they don't have patience.
And they're creative.
Right? And they're creative because they want to do things with the least amount of effort as possible, which is fair. I mean, that's kind of what evolution is. I always like falling along the side, even if it means I'm getting hurt.
Why, you don't want to fall in the middle? Just because it's faster?
Well, I mean, I could sit there and pick up, I guess, you know, I could shoot all these guys on my way down. It's not like you're going to lose ammo. But I figure I can get to the next part of the level. I have enough energy packs to get me there.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. There's a lot of...
Hey, in Zelda, you don't level up in the original Zelda, right?
Level up.
You get hearts, right? But does anything else increase? It's not like an RPG where you get like level 32.
Oh no, yeah, you don't become any. It's more about like
just hearts.
What the thing that you have,
and
you have your energy tank. There's no hearts. It's a very
in the original Zelda.
Oh, Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda. It's just hearts. The only thing though that would like ostensibly level you up are your swords.
Right. Okay,
so you have like the.
You like games where you level up?
The word sword. I mean, I like them in concept. I wish that it wasn't like such a celebrated moment. Like it was just like, it's just your things get harder and you get better weaponry or you build. But I always find it when it's with
you don't celebrate when it gets harder.
I just find when it's RPGs like well, you know.
Oh yeah, it's such a normal occurrence. I think conceptually it sounds stupid. If you were gonna say to someone like, yeah, I'm just gonna grind around and the first elevator sequence. Ding.
Actually, it probably makes... No, I can get the high jump. And a bunch of energy tanks. So I'm going to go into Norfair now, but I'm not going to, like, push through it. So that's why I'm not going to go...
Norfair does not sound very alien to me. It sounds like a place where you'd have a medieval fair.
Right.
Come to Norfair. Hear ye.
Well,
no talk of Metroids here.
I mean, Zebes is the planet, but then the areas are strange since there's, like, Norfair...
Man, you've got like a sniper rifle on there. This is a nice change after all that like heroic, bustling music. This is feels like real underground chill out music.
Yeah, this level has possibly my favorite music in the game, but it doesn't. This is for me. I really love this song, but I definitely like the music that you hear on the way to Kraid, and I can't remember what the hell his world is called. I'm sure that if you reach into my pocket, you'll find that it's loaded on my cell phone.
I'm not gonna reach in your pocket.
It's actually not in there. I just wanted you to reach in.
And not actually because of, I'm afraid to reach into your pocket or anything. I would trust getting something in your pocket, and I would trust you to get something out of my pocket. It's more that just we have a microphone set up, and I don't want to jostle around and bump it.
Right.
I don't like bad audio sounds. I'm very, very audioly sensitive. Like traffic, street noise, really annoys me. Random noises.
Right.
It's very disruptive. The worst is if I'm sitting and playing guitar, I'm listening to music, and sometimes I'll like listen to podcasts when I'm just playing guitar. And then if music comes on at the same time or like two songs at once, it drives me crazy.
Two songs at once is not good. My least favorite thing is when you get into someone's car and they're playing a song that you can sort of hear.
Yeah.
Like, wait, like why do you have the radio at that volume? Like what kind of volume is that?
Just listening to music, man. I love music.
You know,
at this volume.
To me, it's unacceptable. There's a few things if I go this way, but I think that my objective actually was to get the high jump, and then I'm going to go to Kraid's world because he's an easier boss.
Oh, we're going to get to see a boss?
Relatively soon. I have to get to him, but
first... How long do you think it would take you to get to the boss? I think maybe we'll call that the end of the first episode.
Okay, well, let's go get the high jump, which I'm pretty sure I'm getting right now.
Oh! Evil seahorses.
Yeah, those things are fucking insane.
But they only shoot one. Will he turn around and shoot at you?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when they really get you, and this is perfect because here's my high jump.
Those are big boots.
Yeah, I know they're bigger than like half your torso. But now, I mean, it's pretty exceptional. I've got some really good jumping ability.
I think that big jump actually hindered you there and caused you to get hit.
These things are mental. The big jump works better when you don't do the roll jump with it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when you're trying to get out of the sand, they're pretty brutal.
But the nice thing is now that I have the Varia suit.
Yeah.
Right. Like my damage that I incur, like while falling into the lava or whatever the yellow version of lava is, which I think is just like really hot sand. Which oddly enough in Kid Icarus, the same texture that they use graphically is the healing spa. So like in this game, it's like you're falling in lava, but in Kid Icarus, it's like it helps you.
I had Kid Icarus as a kid.
Same company, I think, designed it. Like I think it's Nintendo.
Well, it's Nintendo, yeah, but maybe like the same team.
Same team, yeah. I think they used a lot of the same stuff.
It looks the same. I mean, of course they all sound the same, right? Because they're using that kind of hardware. So, but I found those games very like cold and lonely, and even Kid Icarus too, and actually a lot of Nintendo games. I'm kind of a wimp. I don't like feeling negative feelings when I'm playing video games unless it's like a beautifully sad moment or something. But like I was playing Dying Light. It came out. It's sort of like an open world. You're a government agent going rogue into this nation that has like a zombie outbreak and like warlords taking over.
Mm-hmm.
And you play these night missions and these like super powered zombies are chasing after you and like running for your life, and it's exhilarating, but they do such a good job in that game. It's a really great game. But I didn't like feeling like that.
So you get that feeling when you play this type of game?
Yeah, and that's what always turned me off when I tried to play Metroid and Kid Icarus was that I didn't like the feeling of it. It was like, oh, it's so dark and spooky.
That's what I like about them, and I go back to them because to me they're the ones that really feel like you're doing something outer worldly. Like you're not playing a game. There's not a whole bunch of in my mind the way they've ruined Zelda is by adding in like these goofy characters who are talking to you while you're playing, as opposed to like, no, there was just like a wizard who said what he needed to say, and if you shot at him, he fucking shot fireballs at you. He was willing to give you advice and help you out, but if you ever did anything wrong. Whereas in the newer versions, it's like they turned it into some hokey Saturday morning cartoon that was like, I just don't care as much, because when the story is overtold, I don't feel like you're playing you're not the character anymore.
Sure, you're an observer.
You're observing, or you're controlling a robot.
Absolutely.
Right? Whereas in this or in like those other games, I felt like I was there. This drops me into an alien world. It's like, wow, That's, I just played the Witcher 3. It was a big title that came out.
at the beginning of 2015, made by a Polish team, and they'd made 2 of them before, obviously, because it's Witcher 3. But this was their first one on console. And actually, the reason the other versions didn't get a console release was that this Polish team ported it out to a French studio to develop the console port. Mm-hmm. And the Polish guy was talking about it. He's like, I went over to the French studio, and these guys were coming in at 10 o'clock, and they're leaving at 4, and they drank espresso half the day. Nothing got done, and this like millions of dollars got wasted.
Right.
Because these guys are in Poland. They're like fighting, not fighting anymore, but they're working their tails off 12 to 14 hours a day. Like the video game crunch that happens at the end of making a video game, the Polish people were fine with. Like this was their ticket out to be something bigger than what they had dealt with. Like a lot of oppression in Poland, obviously.
Right.
But what was I saying?
Well, you're talking about.
Oh yeah. Anyways, so Witcher 3 came out, and The Witcher is like uses a lot of this old European lore of like monsters and witches and stuff like that, and it's like action and a bit of magic. They do an incredible job of storytelling. The way the cinematics are told, the in-game cinematics. It's not like some games where they just kind of leave a camera on the head and let them talk.
Right. And
they just stand there awkwardly. It's like framed well, very, very mature tonally. A lot of, like swearing and mature content. A lot of gray area to it I like. But the problem I have with it, and that reminded me of what you were saying, is that, I had the controller and I pressed buttons, but I didn't need to be there.
Right.
Because you'd sit down and they would, one scene, for example, this girl is trying to examine a dead body, and they give you 4 options. They're like head, stomach, arms, legs, and all you do is you click head, and she says, "Oh, things happen to the head. This is why." And then you click arms. Ooh, claw marks on the arms. I guess and it's like, why do I have to even press these buttons?
Needless interaction.
I'm not putting that together, listening to it, and then solving a puzzle.
Yeah.
And the same thing would happen with conversations, where they give you these options, and I'm just going through them all. It's like, I don't need to be here. I don't need to be doing this. And I miss that, like, where Metroid would force you to. I say miss. I didn't even play Metroid when I was growing up, but I just miss games that make you explore, like Fallout 4. I just grabbed, and one of the first sequences, you stumble across a gas station, and by perusing through the gas station leftover clues and discovering the story of the people that were there before this nuclear war, you take those clues and then you find another secret that you didn't ever have to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Metroid is all about. Like, you finding that energy cell and all this extra stuff. Oh, this is a totally different area.
This is my favorite song in the game. I actually, when we have a chance, I will play my remix.
We'll put that at the end of the episode. If you want.
I'm
Can we get the rights?
I don't know. Can we?
I was kidding. You made it. Well,
I made it by remixing this song that I turned into a dance beat. And it's a pretty cool one, I always thought, but this is to me, the best. Oh man, I'm gonna.
This is a great one.
I haven't died yet in the game, by the way.
How did you make a song in 3/4 dancey? It's a waltz.
Oh man, you can always turn a waltz into dance. You'll see. Wow, I'm hurting.
Look at these bumblebees.
This is a hard part.
Why do they live in fire?
I'm not in fire. I'm in like vomit. I'm pretty sure.
Why do they just float around in bile? They're like maggots, pussy maggots. Oh, I like this part.
Yeah.
With that low bass.
I know. The bass part's there. That's actually the one part of the song I didn't sample.
Really? Oh my gosh! I don't think I would have noticed that playing on a TV in 1986. I don't think it would have had.
I don't know. Well, I remember when my parents got the 32-inch screen TV when I was in grade 5 in 1992.
That's like a TV for a dorm room now.
Right. That's a TV for your fucking washroom at this point.
Yeah.
Ow. So if I go down here, I will. Oh no, I'm not where I thought I was. Maybe there's secrets up here. I don't, these guys always reminded me of Cookie Monster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
You've never played Castlevania Symphony of the Night?
No, that's a later.
We'll do a version of that, and maybe I could play that, or you could play that, because it's like, have you heard the term Metroidvania? The way they describe a lot of games is because Castlevania Symphony of the Night kind of took a lot of this
and
expanded on it. But it's Symphony of the Night came out on the PlayStation when 3D was in vogue. Everybody wanted everything to be 3D, and they made it 2D. Beautiful hand-drawn and animated sprites. Like they don't make sprites like that anymore. If they ever make the Castlevania games, they do it like a pseudo 2.5D because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to make a polygonal model that you can put in different situations rather than hand drawing all this stuff. But this Symphony of the Night game is like so gorgeous. The animation is so fluid and amazing, and the soundtrack is like a real cool hybrid of kind of like operatic epic rock. And it's the same thing. Like you have a big castle to explore, Super Metroid style, where there's a map and you explore different parts and you get different powers. And it's just an incredible game. We'll definitely do that one on here. It's like it's a popular game with a lot of people too.
Yeah, definitely heard it.
You have a PlayStation 1, don't you? Sitting around.
I have a PlayStation 1 and I have a PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 1 I have... Is this Chris's first death?
Yeah, you haven't died yet.
I refuse to die.
Look at you just staring at the face.
Ooh.
Oh, you forgot about the guy you froze.
Let's pause for a second then.
Well, we're going to say that this is the end of episode 1, a very fitting end to episode 1. Chris valiantly dying. Tune in for episode 2, where Chris will come back to life and we will fight the first boss. So thank you guys for listening to the 90s Kid YouTube channel. Chris and Matt playing the original Metroid. Stay tuned for other Let's Plays of new games like Fallout 4 and other old games like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Welcome everybody back to the 90s Kid YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us on episode 2.
Duh.
That's right, because we're in Canada.
Yes.
We like to involve everyone, our French listeners. In case you only speak French, you'll only understand that one thing. They'll say, Metroid in 2, right? That's what they said?
Right.
Okay, but they'll say it in French. Anyways, my name is Matt. On the sticks, we have Chris.
Yo.
And when we last left off, Chris had finally died. He went an entire episode, about 1 hour, and a lot of close calls, but he eventually succumbed to a bouncing grasshopper bloodsucker. So
I was pretty hungry, so we needed to stop.
The blood sugar was down.
It was a suicide moment.
Yeah, you can blame it on that. All right, so Chris, take it away.
All right, well, I'm excited already because the password here starts at the 007, which can only mean good things, and I think we're ready to launch ourselves back into Kraid's hideout. I forgot a crucial weapon. So I'm going to go back actually to Norfair to pick it up because I don't think I can fight any kind of boss.
Get your weapons in Norfair.
Without picking that up first. So anyway, this is possibly my favorite music in the whole game.
The super ambient music.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's only 4 channels of instruments to use anyway, so when you like completely get rid of everything else as well, that is extremely sparse.
I mean, they maxed out though. I mean, this music is beautiful. I remember being on like a little kid and seeing like a special on, this is a very Canadian thing, Global TV,
right,
about the guy who made the music for Nintendo, and it was just this dude who,
Koji Kondo.
Yeah, he
did them all.
I
feel like people back then, like music composers, were very underappreciated, and there were some guys that
he wasn't trained for
That's it. They just kind of grabbed a guy. They're like, "Hey, you got a keyboard? You're always showing us mixes at lunch.
Yeah.
Why don't you make a fucking shut up? Stop showing us your shit and make Metroid music."
I mean, this is.
Whereas now, I mean, you've got some people that are coming like from Hollywood that are traditional composers that are writing for video games. It's a different beast though, because you have to write music that can. They have this different software that's out that layers the music and is reactive, so that you could have, say, a theme like this, and then say an enemy appears, it can react into that, but it can also kind of mix together. So it's almost like a more of a modern Ableton style, like live DJing, because you need to layer all that stuff on top of each other.
Right.
Rather than just like switching from like this one to this one. But
yeah,
this reminds me of like the Zelda theme quite a bit. It's sort of like marching band, epic, heroic kind of adventure music.
I know, but there's something so nice about that like 8-bit bass that comes in every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's these tones.
It's huge, because compared to everything else that's so MIDI and trebly, if you're listening to this, and you're not using headphones. There are a few moments in these Metroid soundtracks where that bass hits that Chris is talking about. It's monumental.
Yeah, it's special, particularly in this game. I feel like Zelda doesn't have those bass moments.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like it's more, it's less computery in a way. I'm sad I didn't grab that missile. Oh man, so yeah, we're just heading.
How many can you hold? You got 15.
I think that's my capacity at the moment, which is also another concern. But
are you just a completionist? You want to grab the missile anyway? Because I remember you and me were playing Donkey Kong and you were getting mad because I wasn't. Not that you get mad, but you were just wondering why I wasn't grabbing, like, oh, there's the K, there's the N, spell Kong.
Right. Well, you know why?
I'm done spelling. I'm done school.
In Donkey Kong, there's a very good reason for that.
Ooh, look at the graphics in this level.
The fucking, yeah, right? The little skip over. In Donkey Kong, always my ever favorite, just fall down the side. Skip all that shit.
I can't wait for you to play Castlevania Symphony of the Night, because all of it is those little
ledges.
The one area that I made fun of for not having enough graphics.
Yeah.
That's how they got around not having to have load times.
Right.
For Symphony of the Night, which is a CD game in the PlayStation, which is notorious for load times, obviously, because it only had like a 2 megabyte RAM that it could hold at one time.
Yeah.
So they use those, and it even says CD, like written nicely. But you still control your character, which just makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. Of course, if you can make a game out of the loading time moment,
yeah,
that's huge.
Just anything like a Connect 4 or whatever.
But as for Donkey Kong and you not collecting things, that's because in that game it opens up so many new worlds.
Oh, see, I like that. If it's changing the way I'm going to play,
yeah,
sure, then I'll go the extra mile.
I wouldn't do anything just for points.
Okay. Like when you and me were playing Mario 2 the other day, and we wanted to complete it in the evening. See, at that point, I'm like, okay, now I actually do want to get all the coins and I want to get the lives. Because say we were playing Super Mario World, there's not really a penalty for dying in Super Mario World.
Right.
Because you're never a few levels away. It was kind of the precursor to modern gaming of die and go back a little bit.
Yeah.
You just have to go back a little bit further.
Accidental pause.
Okay. I like these purple bubbles.
Oh man, they're great. You can get really lost in them, like on bombing campaigns.
This game is so beautiful in its own way. Like, God, they just did so much. I love how much you can evoke from a piece of pixel art. Like when we were playing Link or Zelda, the first Zelda, and his little face. Like, there's not much to that face, but it's, it shows enough of his expression.
No, there had to be an artist. Look how well they crafted your hero's ass.
Yeah, she's got a nice little butt that sticks out.
She's got a little butt.
And the positive to that is that I think a lot of video gamers by nature, we have an imagination.
Right.
And that's why we love these things so much, because it's kind of an imagination brought to life. However, when you have less to work with, we will fill in the gaps for you.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I could play a text game, and I have played a text game before. Now,
like Zork?
I haven't played that.
I had Return to Zork, but that was like for CD-ROM. If anybody remembers what that's all about.
We'll do an episode of that. CD-ROM, like as in DOS CD-ROM?
Yeah, like a DOS CD-ROM, like same time as the game Myst came out, if you remember.
Oh,
Myst.
yeah. I remember my dad's friend who was into computers showing my dad that my dad was not into computers, and that was kind of like, every once in a while you show people these games just to be like, this is where games are now. Right. Myst was the top-selling game of all time, PC game of all time for a while.
Yeah, it was a crazy game.
Until the Sims dethroned it.
Right, which I never played.
And then Wii Sports. What? Really?
I never played The Sims.
It's kind of addictive. It's addictive because you're spinning plates. You have like 8 meters you have to keep up, like a sleep meter, social meter, food meter, fun meter, work meter. And they're all depleting. So there's only so much time in the day to get all those things done.
Right.
And then you also get to decorate your house, and eventually everybody gets to the same point where they just lock their character in a little box and watch them die. But that was the #1 selling PC game of all time. Because really? I think it's because it brought both genders together.
Right.
That's why.
Well, that's fair. The closest I got to that was playing Jones in the Fast Lane. Did you ever play Jones in the Fast Lane? Sierra game back in the day.
I love Sierra.
Yeah, who doesn't? I'm dying to play that King's Quest game they just released, actually. I think maybe it was just this year.
Did you play any old King's Quest?
Oh yeah, I love King's Quest. King's Quest 5 and...
Have you ever beaten a King's Quest?
King's Quest 5 and 6, I've beaten both of those. Those are my two fave.
The only one I played was where you wash up on shore.
That's number 6.
And that one had that was on CD, so it had speech, which was pretty
Right. I had the disc version, and it was the pre-speech edition. Okay. And so actually when I go back and I like find emulators and I hear that speech, it actually like jarring pisses me off. I'm just like, no, I just want to read the text honestly in like all cases.
Absolutely. You know, there's this thing that happened with Japanese RPGs where, man, that guy goes fast, but you nailed him. There's a Japanese trope of having a younger, brash type of character that a lot of Western audiences find very annoying.
Right.
And ever since they started putting speech in Final Fantasy games, oh, can you get out of there? You got to go all the way back. We started seeing this, like whoever they cast, because Square Enix is a Japanese company, so they don't know how that character's coming off to us. But I find that if you just would have read the dialogue,
my goodness,
and even if you go back to, I'm just such a compelling storyteller, because it's messing up. But even if you go back to some of those games that we read the text for, and you imagine somebody like saying that out loud, you're like, nah, that would probably be pretty annoying too. But it's the same thing like we're talking about pixel graphics. Text allows your imagination to fill it in and make it better. Yeah. Because you get to choose. You're never going to make up a voice for someone in your head and then be like, oh, they're so annoying. Because why would they be annoying?
Yeah. Man, it's like if someone dared to make a cartoon version of Calvin and Hobbes. I would probably just die.
It's just been too long.
I would be upset.
And they would try to make him like have attitude, and he's like, yeah.
And he does, but he's like, I don't know what he sounds like. I'm pretty sure he sounds like me.
Yeah, because we read that as a kid, and he was frustrated, and he had this like imaginary world.
Exactly.
But he was actually crazy. They would have put him on so much Ritalin now if Calvin was.
I feel like that with like most historical figures.
Yeah.
We would have never even had so many of our leaders who were great because they wouldn't have like passed the media test.
Well, they were saying that the media test, that's actually a good one. Like when TV first came in, there was that debate between Nixon and JFK, and anyone who listened to it on the radio thought Nixon won.
Right.
And anyone who saw it was like, JFK is good looking and Nixon is like a sweaty old man. JFK won.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, Nixon, smart guy. Actually did some great shit, but unfortunately was also a dick.
What's that? What's lightning?
So this is what I came back for, and this is my...
Is this jumping attack?
Spin attack.
Oh my god, does it do that noise every time?
Every time.
Oh, I'll turn the volume down in the mix later for that.
That's a wonderful sound. I don't think I can go any further here, nope.
That's the ultimate FU to the enemies you've previously been dealing with. You're just like, now I can run through the levels, jumping, killing you. Are you invincible to attacks too?
No. But I mean, since I got the various suit, I'm a lot better off.
What percentage of the game are we through right now?
Oh,
you through? I'm doing nothing.
If I had to guess, well, I haven't beat any bosses yet. So I would say like we're probably about like 35%, but like the next bit won't take long. Do you know what I mean? It won't take long for me to get back. So what I'm gonna do now that I've got that weapon, I feel a lot more confident about going to fight Kraid. Not that I actually need this weapon to fight Kraid, but look at this. Like I could just like
that is awesome. See, man, when you play Symphony of the Night, it's the same thing, except you're fighting Dracula, and you go through this castle, and then you upgrade, and you like crisscross back through it. It's such a good game. We'll definitely do an episode of that, and you'll be on it.
I'm excited because a game that feels like this, that's new, would be great.
Newish, and it's
new to me. Let's just be clear.
True, new to you, but also you can say. The technology of it holds up because it's animated, right? It's like hand-drawn animation.
Yeah.
When I mentioned this last episode, but it's
like still resonates now.
Yeah, everybody wanted polygons. Everybody wanted like ugly, blocky polygons. They're like, oh, animation in 2D, that's for losers. But this game, if you go back and look at that game compared to Final Fantasy VII, well, actually, I went back and played Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, you were mentioning offline.
Yes, and I was worried it was going to be ugly, and I was worried it wasn't going to hold up and it was going to ruin my memories of it, but they actually did some incredibly innovative stuff, the way they mix and matched the graphics. Like Resident Evil was doing that. A lot of PlayStation games were mixing pre-rendered backgrounds with 3D polygons.
Yeah.
But Square had about like 3 or 4 different graphical styles in that game that they're mixing and matching, and there was some like pretty cool stuff. It doesn't always hold up and look that great, but
I liked it in Resident Evil.
You can really
for sure.
appreciate it. Oh yeah, that
game
gorgeous.
was one of the first games to terrify me, other than Phantasmagoria, which is another Sierra game.
Maybe we'll do that one.
Phantasmagoria. I actually went back and cleared it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would actually be enjoyable, I think, as a podcast, just because it's one of the first computer games, I think, to use live action actors.
Oh, okay.
As you're like kind of walking around the same way you do in King's Quest like 5 and 6 being the one you played.
Yeah.
And anyway, I should probably continue playing while I talk. Anyway, in any case, in this game though, it would like cut through to these video sequences that they were terrifying, man.
Oh,
and vicious and violent and like actually vile. Like, I don't want to give any of it away, especially if we plan on doing it.
I'm sure the frame rates were terrifying too.
Oh no, man! Like it actually, like I played it and
it held up.
It held up. There was something about it. Like even the you know how like in King's Quest 5 and 6 and whatever, Space Quest, all that, you had, you know, the mouse was your main tool. I'm playing like such a jackass. Right. Confident.
Do you want me to play this part while you talk?
That'll be fine. No, I'm doing it. I'm kind of on purpose. I'm being like John Wayne. I'm just kind of blustering through as though nothing can hurt me.
Just sauntering, right?
Yeah.
You're drunk with power. Just wait till you get to a boss. That'll smarten you out.
Well, I'm going to acquire missiles right now. It's just they're kind of crucial.
How would a kid ever figure this out?
I did.
How? Did you like talk to kids at school on the playground?
Well, I mean, you know, someone would show you how to play the game, and I guess you would.
But who was the first person that figured it out?
I had a really smart. I had
you know
a smart
what?
friend.
You know what probably happened? Nintendo's like, oh, I'm not going to do a Japanese accent. I'm not going to be racist. They're probably just like, oh no, we made this game so hard. So what they did was they were dressing up these Japanese developers of the game as kids and making them pose in elementary schools and like, oh, you're that exchange student. And then they just hang out at the playground. They teach you, oh, Metroid, yeah, it's so easy. You just do this. You know, you just put a bomb by that wall that's not marked.
Well, that's great. No, I mean, I think it's just in this
a cool shot.
In this game,
it looks like her as a fetus.
At this point in gaming, I think like, you know, you didn't need to be directed as much, and that's what kind of the annoyance I have.
They were more puzzles.
Some more games. It's like I want to like figure this out. So clearly here, I can tell that I can progress no further. There's those big round circles.
Yeah. You
know you can definitely not blast them. So I can go here. I can probably blow this one up. No, I can't even. So yeah, we're done here. But we got the missile we came for. I think my capacity is at best 25 to maybe 30 missiles at the moment.
Okay.
But we don't need that because it's a misnomer. You think in this game that, and I spent years thinking this, that to beat Kraid, you needed to use missiles. And he's fucking hard, but you'll see when I get to him.
Kraid's the boss we're going to right now?
Kraid is who we're going to go fight.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what? I need to find a new word to say. Instead of saying stay tuned. That is such an old, like, rabbit ears on a television thing to say. Stay tuned.
Well, you are, yeah. Like, how are you even tuned?
Don't click away.
Don't click away.
Stay focused, you fucking ADD viewer.
Yeah, right.
Actually, do whatever the hell you want.
But make sure you just keep us on, you know, in the background.
Yeah, sure.
Someone's got to get paid.
I was watching it was a Game Informer doing a playthrough
Whoa. This is a vicious area for me to be this
vicious
hurt. All right, let's just...
It was Game Informer doing all of... You're down to just 15? Wow.
15 energy.
15 Englishes.
It's not bad, because if I die, I will actually end up, you know, being where I want to be.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, sometimes in Metroid, like, you know, it's to your...
going backwards is going forwards.
It's to your advantage to die, because, I mean, there's a lot of backtracking in this game. That was the whole thing about an open world. I mean, I guess this was really the first open world game like this, and
Zelda
and Zelda,
or like, I mean, are people forgetting that RPGs are all mostly open world, and they're just saying like, wow, look at this cool concept we came up with in our action game?
But I mean, at that point, Nintendo wasn't releasing RPGs yet. Really,
Final Fantasy 1,
but that didn't come out until like
Dragon Warrior.
That didn't come out in 1986 like this game did. Like, or is this 87? They didn't come out the same year. That was like 1990 or something. Like Final Fantasy came out.
Final Fantasy 1?
Yeah, that
for
came
the NES?
Yeah, that came out way after Zelda.
Let's find out.
For sure.
People at home.
My guess is going to be either 89 or 90, but maybe 88, but I doubt it. Final Fantasy was epic in its release. Oh wow, I am hanging on a thread here. I've got 3 health. And in this game, there are no.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy number 1 in Japan in 1987.
U.S.
U.S.
So it actually came out the same. Metroid came out in 85.
No, you're right. North America was 1990.
Right.
1990. Wow.
Yeah, I knew that it came out way later.
But okay, but if we're talking about like developers taking ideas from each other, then I mean, these guys were all Japanese developers. Like, because for the longest time, you were playing Japanese games, you were playing nothing.
Yeah.
It was this strange, like, it's really cool because like music as a language we can all speak in. This was gaming is its own language that we were communicating with Japanese people through plumbers and aliens and stuff. They didn't need words, like Kid Icarus. Japanese people being like, "Is this what you guys like?"
Yeah. Well, they just made it for themselves, and they took every myth that. The funny thing is, they never made anything like that, like touched on really being Japanese.
No, never, actually. They were like, Mario was their idea of what they thought Americans were like.
Yeah.
We saw the Honeymooners. Not you? Yeah, big.
I'm surprised at the end of Mario there isn't like a sequence where you get to beat up the princess. Based on like that kind of stereotype.
Well, yeah, she talks back. She's like, "Took you long enough."
Yeah, like she's actually from Jersey.
He's like, "Really? I died several times getting here. I fell in a few pits.
Yeah.
Had to come back to life.
Stood on those steps for like I'm sorry, viewers. I'm just sitting here collecting.
You're farming. That's okay. This is a part of Metroid is farming. You can farm.
Yeah.
When you start farming, we'll let people know, and then they can skip ahead a minute if they really like.
This is a farming, and then this is a de-farming that we're experiencing right now.
Yeah, you're getting crop dusted.
That's okay. Look how I lose so little energy
in the sand.
On the sand as I did as much as I did before. Like,
oh right.
As opposed to, sorry, my English just like completely fell off. It just fell off the edge of the planet there.
That's okay. You're on a different planet right now. You're in wherever this is. Where does this take place?
We're in Zebes. Maybe it's Zebes, but I always assumed it was Zebes. Anyway, we're on our way back to.
Hey, question: do you say AT-AT or AT-AT?
Do you say AT-AT or
Star Wars question? Yeah, or AT-AT.
I mean, I'm not into Star Wars in the level where I know the names of like spaceships and shit. What the hell is an AT-AT?
Oh, really?
Is that like a?
Those are the four-legged giant walkers that attack on Hoth.
I just thought it was an AT walker.
It is an AT walker.
But they call them AT-ATs? I've never, at any point in any of the Star Wars movies, does anybody say the word AT-AT. I'm sure of that. No one says AT-AT ever.
I think they
must have been like an afterthought. Someone researched the prop department and then wrote a book and decided.
When I'm editing this, I'm going to find me a nice scene from Star Wars.
Echo Station 3TA. We have spotted Imperial Walker.
Imperial Walkers on the North Ridge.
No one calls it the AT-AT.
It's gonna be.
I am certain that I know that movie verbatim.
It's gonna be. General Veers will be talking to Vader and he's like, "Lord Vader, the AT-AT is all ready to commence firing." That's what's gonna happen.
Okay, yeah, you might be right. That actually sounds reasonable, just because that voice said it. And I know who General Veers is. He's the asshole who,
he was
who dies first. As a result of his he comes in.
General Veers is piloting the AT-AT.
Yeah. He does all right.
And he's got that weird sort of mullet.
I think he
has a mullet helmet.
I'm pretty sure he's the bad guy in the third Indiana Jones movie.
He looks like him.
Yeah, I think it is him.
Yeah.
Donovan in I think is his name in the Indiana Jones Last Crusade.
Donovan.
Yeah, the guy the American industrialist who sides with the Nazis to he's the one who drinks out of the cup and gets old really fast.
I've only seen the Raiders. Is that Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Are you joking right now? You're telling me right now you've only seen the Raiders of the Lost
No.
Ark?
I was gonna say I've only seen that one once. I've seen we had Temple of Doom in my house, so I've seen that one like a million times.
I have all of them on VHS.
And I didn't like Temple of Doom.
I love that movie, but I mean,
I was a kid. I didn't want to watch like people's hearts getting ripped out. It was crazy.
I love that movie. I got it.
I'm Indiana ignorant when it comes to Jones movies.
Yeah, McDonald's released. You could buy like all three during one of the Christmas seasons. Like it came as like an extra to the meal. It was like $5 a movie. So we got one. We used to drive to the States to see my aunt, and like on the way there, I remember us picking up those movies. That was like the highlight of my life, for sure. At one point, getting the Indiana Jones movies. You know, because at that point in my life, I think we maybe only had like 2 VHS movies.
Really?
Yeah, we had like Batman and The Wizard of Oz.
That's not a bad collection.
Yeah, as far as 2 movies go.
Why was there a girl in the family and a boy?
I mean, no,
Your
I mean,
sister?
oh fuck, I hate when that happens. In that case,
I like when that happens. I think it's funny.
You know,
I've never been to this section.
Yeah. So when we all heard that track at the end of the first episode, that I made a few years ago that we used,
Yeah.
It was based off of this piece of music. I think I should be able
Yeah,
to
you said that.
through here. I never said it in the recording.
Yeah, you did.
No.
That's how it got brought up.
Really?
When we were listening to this, and I said, "Oh, how did you do it? Because it's in waltz time."
Oh, that would have been last time. Right. Yes.
Yeah, last episode.
Okay, so this is a... Oh, no.
There's that bass. Put in your headphones for this part. That's the lowest note. I'll try to find out what note that is.
Yeah,
I'll put that in the description below.
It's the brown note, actually, like from South Park.
Oh yeah.
You remember the brown
You
note?
get a brownout. What does it cause you to?
It causes
shit yourself?
everybody to in the world to shit themselves.
Wow. Use that.
All right, so this is good.
For
We're about to get energized.
Did you ever play an original Nintendo game where you're just a couple dudes fighting on the sidewalk, and people drop plants on your head out of the window?
Is it called Bad Dudes?
No. That's a kind of a cool game though. I have a lot of memories with NES games where I started playing them, and then they would get so hard. I would just get nice timing on that.
This is the wrong tunnel.
Oh. And I would just get so angry at them, and then like Bad Dudes. Is it possible to beat that game?
I don't think you can beat Strider. And Strider was a fucking amazing game for the Nintendo. You ever played Strider?
No, never.
Oh, we're doing an episode on Strider.
Okay.
There's also, the best thing about that is we could do a simul thing. And we're getting excited about what we're doing. And yay, future audiences, you get to experience this. We're going to do Strider for the NES. And we're going to do Strider for the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, see, I knew it from the Genesis.
For Genesis, it's a special game.
So it's but they kind of rebooted it?
For sure. No, well, it's completely different.
So
And
they
they are based on the same. No, but they're, yeah, I guess so. They're based
That's what a reboot is.
on the same. Yeah, so, sure.
But they didn't use that stupid term back then. Oh, I've been to this section. This is when I stopped playing.
Right.
This is the plan here?
I was gonna try to bounce my way up over these things here with the bomb.
Wow. Right, because you can jump out of that, right?
But
That's
no, you don't want to jump out of it. That's just a fuck up on my part. I'm trying to get that timing right, and if this doesn't happen immediately, I will stop. Or viewers, you guys can all skip ahead.
Yeah, just skip the whole episode.
just make sure you click on it.
I think
in the
anyone
first
who's
place.
watching a Metroid playthrough, like this is a part of the experience. This is a part of the meditation on Zebeth. This is the yoga of our time.
Right. I can't argue with that.
No.
Whoa. Ow. You know what I gotta say in this game is like getting hit by something. Let's just watch. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like it sends you flying back, and it's
It's a real interruption.
It's definitely an interruption.
Bass.
Yeah, there's that bass. There's our little cookie monster.
Yeah, they're fun.
Okay, so I don't think I can get. I have to get there from across this chasm.
Okay.
Okay, so
Can you?
I don't think that's gonna. I gotta come from below.
Okay.
So it goes. But that's the way we're gonna need to be. So
These textures look really similar to like Kid Icarus and.
yeah, I'm sure that those are built on the same like platform.
Yeah, they just have like a big bag of assets they're handing out to everybody. Here you go. Here's some grass. I found that game pretty hard too. I'm a few years younger than you, so I think when I played a lot of these games, I didn't have the mental capacity to figure them out. Shoot! Oh, nice. Gotta get up there. My dad brought home this one game. It was called Wrecking Crew, and it sort of used a Mario look-alike character, and you just went around and solved puzzles and.
Was it Wreck-It Ralph? Like that character?
No, I think Wreck-It Ralph was like from 2014, isn't it?
That's a movie.
Yeah.
But wasn't he an actual game character?
Maybe. That might have been him. Like I said, I was a dumb young kid. I remember it was very strange. He just showed up in the basement. I was probably playing video games already. And he's like, hey, Matthew, I got this Nintendo. And I already had a Nintendo. He's like, and I got this game. So at the time, I was really confused. Like, well, are you going to take this one away? Because I had a brother, so everything was fair. Everything was like given and then taken. And, you know, we were always like balancing things out. But he just showed up one day with this. And now as an adult, I realize he just got a deal on it. Or actually, my dad, he owned a drywall company. And he had these workers. And he had this one worker who was always kind of like getting into money problems. So my dad would buy stuff off him to give him money.
Right.
So he'd always come home with like weird chairs, or like one time he came home with a cockatiel, and then we just had a bird. And then we became bird people. We started buying all these birds. We would name the birds after the worker.
I've never even heard of a debt-solving bird scenario. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so this is clearly we're at as a place of importance. So I'm definitely gonna farm here for a minute.
Yeah.
Because we are outside Kraid's lair.
Did you hear how Canadian Chris sounded there? Outside.
Did I really say outside?
Yeah.
Outside. Let's go outside. Out, is that how Americans say it? We say out?
Yeah, they say out.
We say out.
But we don't necessarily. We have some Americans listening to this show. We have sometimes people from Pakistan, Estonia, Australia.
Why do they say out? Please call in. We don't have a number. It should not appear at the bottom of the screen right now.
You could leave an audio recording in the YouTube section.
That's dope. You could do that.
Comments. I don't know. You could link it to your SoundCloud.
Can you imagine if there were actually
SoundCloud.
If everyone had to, every troll had to record themselves?
I just wrote an article on this, and I was saying, like, for trolls and comment sections, sometimes I don't think you should be able to comment unless you put the same amount of work into it. Because you could, like, somebody could spend 10 or more hours working on something, and then some guy, while he's taking a crap, whips out his phone, he's like, "You're a fag." It's like, man, we didn't need that.
No one ever needed that. I mean, the troll section, I'm pretty sure, is like a
troll section.
A bot.
The troll section.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, it's. I mean, I've been there too. It's just you're like in a dark place and you just want to like make fun of things. It makes you feel better. That's why tabloids exist.
Right.
Tabloids are the trolls.
This is fair.
Yeah. Like, how many times do I have to see a picture of Kirstie Alley not looking great? Like, who cares? She's a person. Why don't we? You know what celebrities should do? Oh my God!
What should they do, man?
Celebrities should have their own magazine where they take photos of tabloid people, like, because they're like, come on, whoever is behind a camera taking tabloid photos is probably an ugly troll being.
Oh yeah.
And just make a picture of them and be like, look how ugly they are. Look how they dress.
Why don't we just create a magazine where we take
you know how much
pictures
celebrities would pay us to do that?
Of tabloids.
We would make millions because they got money kicking around.
You're not allowed to broadcast this now anymore. Episode's over.
Don't yell into the mic.
That is I don't have a loud voice.
You do when you yell.
But I think that's an idea that's worth some serious gold, man.
Yeah, they could just hire other tabloid people to do it. Because
I would do it. I would get in a car and take a
ridiculous.
photo of
What
it.
is the point? Who cares that what Reese Witherspoon had for lunch that day? Get a life.
Oh man.
And like these people just
You never saw the time she ate ravioli. Clearly, because
really?
like
What a pig.
It was something, man. It was special.
I feel like when you, because if you
She
step
sucked
a few
out the
feet-
middle part with a straw.
Now that I want to see a picture of.
Right?
But like if you step back a few feet from these photos and you just see the army of people like surrounding their car, and oh my God, I can't even handle being around like people generally, or even having people hear my conversation. You know,
I
like
like humans.
like if I was in a restaurant, I wouldn't want to sit right next to somebody where I'm listening to every word they're saying and they're
hell
hear
no.
mine.
It's like
so I couldn't
awkward.
imagine being famous.
Those communal tables, like what the fuck were people thinking?
Oh God! Every once in a while, like first world people, they come up with this idea and they try to make their experience crappier. And they're like, let's sit at an orphanage table. It'd be great.
Why don't we all just eat out of a trough?
Yes, just like get real, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you still.
I'm so connected. Hold on, let me just talk to my broker.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have enough, but I only will feel comfortable until my energy is completely maxed out. I am going in with no missiles. Let's just talk about this. 25 missiles.
Yeah.
It would take me 75 missiles exactly.
Yeah.
To kill Kraid. Okay, so people right now would probably think that I'm crazy going into this scenario.
You can carry more than 25?
You can carry many. I think you can carry like 130 in the end or something like that. You get a lot of missile packs in this game. For sure. But anyway, clearly it seems like I'm not going to get any more power-ups, so...
Bring that guy with you. Oh, you got
the music's going to change, and it gets creepy when we're at a boss.
Alright. I've never seen this guy before.
I used to spend so many times fighting this boss until I realized you can kick his ass with bombs. Yeah, fuck off. And normally, like, you would get knocked into that, like, into the the worst thing that can happen to you is for you to fall into that yellowish lava.
Right.
But that's only when you're like sitting there.
Oh wow!
Sitting there trying to
well
be
done. Well done.
Sitting there
Chris.
trying to be like, you're fighting him. You're doing things like, oh man, I really need this energy tank, and you try to get that midway through your fight.
Oh, okay.
But it's like it doesn't work, and you're dying.
Is it possible to get that energy tank?
Yes. It definitely is. You just need to...
You gotta believe. Oh, wow. Oh, so the bomb approach. Do you take less damage when you're in roll?
No, it's just that
it's
like...
just so you don't fall.
You sit there. Okay, so what the thing to know about Kraid is, and I could have maybe probably taken a second to show you how annoying he is.
Yeah.
Is he has these 3 darts that like go across his chest. And
yeah.
No one can see what I'm doing. And he shoots them out. And when you try to hit them, if they come out, your missile will hit them and nothing happens. You can freeze them as they come out of him, but then they block your shots. So you sit there trying to time when you're freezing his shots and trying to shoot him with the missile.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, this sucks. Like, it's so hard to beat Kraid. I used to treat him as the second boss in this game. And I would go defeat Ridley first, who is actually harder because you have to beat him with missiles, right?
Okay.
You can't beat him with the bomb. As soon as I realized and figured out you could defeat Kraid with the bomb, and it was just like a random attempt I made one day, it's like this changed my world. Nothing, like it's nothing will ever be the same after that.
That guy's he's cross-eyed. I don't even know where he's jumping.
Yeah, but he's vicious though. So now we're a third of the way through the game in the sense that we've defeated one of 3 bosses.
10 health.
I know. Oh yeah, there's vicious. This is a part of the game that's also super tedious.
Why is that?
Getting back up. Do you remember when I was coming down?
Yeah.
This corridor, how big a drop it was? Right. So now we have to get back up there.
Okay.
So this is one of those things that Metroid did that I think is almost like super annoying.
Okay.
Is this part, because you'll see.
Oh, I see.
As these things
regenerate,
regenerate, if you're like stuck in them as they regenerate, it hurts you.
Oh, right.
And it throws you. So you have to be seriously like.
Yeah, why is that fun?
On it.
That's not fun.
No, I know. This is my least favorite part of all of Metroid.
But I'd say that this has been the first thing where so far we've been like, oh,
See what I mean?
This is old game design that's not really that fun. The rest of it's been pretty difficult but fair.
I think maybe I just need to be like a little bit more patient and like
sure,
maybe just shoot a couple of these things out at a time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just take your time. What I'm gonna do is as I go through this video, I'll add like different skip it links. So if I feel like there's a part that's tedious, I'll let people just kind of blast through
This
it.
is definitely one of those parts.
Yeah, so
ladies and gentlemen.
just, Chris, don't feel the pressure. Take your time. You just beat a big boss.
With bombs.
Yeah. That's how you do it, folks.
And like, it's sort of dissatisfying in a way because
this is your reward for beating the boss.
I always like it if you could like play a game where you don't sustain damage when you're beating a boss.
Right.
I always think that was the reward of Mario, like what made Mario cool is like you pretty much had 2 hits and you were dead, you know?
Yeah.
At most. So with that said, it's like you had to be the way the boss operated or whatever was always based on this notion that you would have like a dodging kind of fight with them. I hate it like when we were just fighting Kraid, while it was easier with the bomb, it bugs me that I was not sitting there trying to avoid him. I was literally just going in there like, blah, 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 I'm just gonna blow up.
Yeah, you tanked it. All those energy tanks and
just suicide bombed it, you know, pretty much. So this is like the first exit, which isn't even the right exit. Okay, good. As long as I fall on that thing, I'm pretty happy. Yeah. But, you know. So once we get past this part,
what's next after this part?
Jesus Christ.
And we made it back to the top. Yeah.
It's all good. So we're back. We're on our way to Norfair. We've defeated Kraid. You know, it was like...
How do you know their names?
I knew it from owning the manual.
Oh, I loved manuals. They don't even make manuals anymore. Oh, I sound like such an old man.
Really? They don't? Like, I mean...
No, they don't. You buy a game. Go, here's my $80 to $90 Canadian bucks. And then you know you get an advertisement, a little thin piece of glossy paper that's like, buy this game now, you son of a bitch.
They're waiting for you to like love the game, and then they're gonna release a whole system that looks like the game, and like make you buy that too because for some reason you need a second PlayStation, you know, for like your bathroom or something.
Yeah.
You know, something mental.
These bundles.
It's crazy.
PlayStation has a pretty nice bundle coming out. Only in the UK right now, but it might go worldwide. And even though the games they're releasing are all remasters and old ones, you get technically five games. You get all 3 Uncharted's, The Last of Us, and God of War 3 Remastered. So none of those are technically PS4 games, but if you are jumping into PS4 and you love playing those games for PS3 and you're mad you don't have any backwards compatibility, well, here's 4 of the best ones. Uncharted 1 is not a very good game.
Huh.
It was an idea, but they didn't really refine what they were doing. Does that guy not get frozen?
No, I shot him so fast.
Oh.
There
he is. He looks so sad.
I just dug into him.
This makes me want to play Mario 3 World 7. We should do all of the playthroughs.
Hey man,
Are you gonna get it, Mario 3?
I can get my way. I'd be on autopilot playing Mario 3.
And I like that one's 2-player too, so that's a lot more fun.
Yeah, it's got more music change-ups.
Yeah.
You know,
and what I love about it is that if you can't beat a level and your partner beats a level, like you're working together. That was a fantastic idea. Like parents everywhere must have been like, "Thank you, Nintendo, for making a great 2-player game."
Oh man, my dad always just hated us having Nintendo. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You should be playing with an abacus.
Yeah, right.
Counting
even
things
to this day, I was like,
hey, chemistry set.
I was like, hey, can we? I was like, I'm gonna partition my drive.
Hang on, that guy's having a stroke.
Yeah, right.
Should we call somebody?
I said to my dad, I'm gonna partition my drive because I want to be able to play some Windows games on my Mac, and he's just like freaked out. Even though I'm in my 30s, about me wasting any amount of time. Okay, like I'm playing video games. It's like I own my own business. I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah.
It still bugs him. I was like, your favorite show is Big Bang Theory. Your favorite characters, all they do is play these games.
Well, hang on a second. What people also need to remember is that, does he watch TV?
Yeah.
What a waste of time that is!
I know, it's insane.
Oh, how could... And arguably, video games are better for you than TV because number one,
Being stimulated?
yes, being stimulated, you're puzzle solving. It's an active thing. TV just shuts your brain off. It's so stupid.
Right.
Hey, there's some TV shows I like too.
Frasier.
But just, yeah, of course. But just like, just that attitude of, oh, video games are a waste of time. And then you have, like...
It's just weird to me because this is a guy who, like, was like a computer nerd and he knows how to, he learned programming, he learned Linux for fun. And yet, for some reason, has a problem with video games.
Well, he just didn't have the right one.
You know, it's just...
You need the right
But he
game.
did, and then eventually he did buy himself a Wii.
Right.
And he played Wii Tennis, and you couldn't beat him by Wii Tennis. And it was so random of all the things that, like...
No, man, that's what happened with the Wii. Everybody, that was the casual machine in Wii Sports. It was a Wii Sports machine.
Yeah.
That's what it did. My stepmom, too, didn't play a lot of video games. She actually crossed over, though, from Wii Sports and played Twilight Princess all the way through. And never having played a video game before that,
Yeah.
it took her hundreds of hours to beat Twilight Princess.
But she loved it.
She did. She really loved it, actually.
It was a cool game. Unfortunately, the copy that I was given as a present had a scratch on it. So I never got to play past the first
Probably
level.
stolen.
It made me so upset.
Oh, something else I was going to say earlier about your dad and video games being a waste. Neurosurgeons and normal surgeons who play video games make fewer mistakes. So,
Right.
So you better ask if you're drop some video game references, and if your surgeon doesn't know what you're talking about, like, I gotta go.
You gotta go.
This isn't gonna work. Can I see your resume, please? Your
Are
trophy
you playing
list.
Fallout?
That's the
right
resume I
now?
want to see.
Are you? No?
What difficulties it
You
on?
watch The Bachelor? Alright. See ya. You know,
Exactly.
Or maybe there's something if they're watching Big Brother and they somehow think that that's problem solving. I don't know.
I was selling a game to somebody, like, privately, and he was just a nice dude. So we had never met, but we were like texting the price back and forth and where we were gonna meet. And then we just kind of got to talking, and he was telling me how his girlfriend's like, she doesn't like me playing video games, and we were talking about this very same thing. But he's like, she will regularly marathon all of the Friends seasons.
Right.
And I don't mean this like against girls or anything, just about any significant other that doesn't support another one's
Right.
hobby and hypocritically criticizes it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's anybody who criticizes anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm not gonna sit there and tell you that you shouldn't be watching TV.
Sure.
It's a type of personality that just has a problem with other people doing stuff. It's like I don't like it because I don't like it.
Sure, like how about like we're a certain age where we're probably not going to listen to like PewDiePie.
Right.
Do you know who PewDiePie is?
The porn star? No.
No, he's the richest YouTuber. He's the most profitable YouTuber.
Right,
He makes $7 million a year, and he does stuff like this. He plays video games and he talks, but he does more of a. He kind of talks in like a South Park voice a lot of the time, and kind of yells a lot, and whatever. But it's like, yeah, I don't understand it. It's not for me, but if people want to watch it, great, and good for him to make that much money.
Hey, yeah, man. Oh,
Awesome.
Why am I not making
He had a
it?
very honest video where, because that hit all the major news sources,
Right.
So he put out a response video to it, and he started reading fan mail and reading like criticisms about him making it. And one of them said, I feel like, how come an idiot like you who yells makes $7 million a year, and people who fight for their country make less? And he had like a great point. He said, we should take that money and put it into wars and violence. Yeah, that works out, doesn't it? And it's just, I love his transparency and whatever. I mean, it's like providing a service. When I was 14 and 15, I thought really loud, crazy stuff was funny, and it just changes you, like, as you get older.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, if you had those tools, like all of the things, like that, the ways of being creative now have been democratized, which is amazing. Like, there's so much content, and yes, a lot of it is shit. But the point is that it's like everyone's getting a chance to participate now.
Yeah,
that's amazing. It's like, how can anybody condemn that?
This is the greatest, one of the greatest video game generations, because there's a button right on your PlayStation 4 controller that's the share button. You want to take a screenshot, you want to start streaming live, you want to record videos, whatever you want. I mean, anybody can get involved with it. And
Right.
It's incredible.
It's amazing. So we're gonna do some more farming right now. I wanna grab some missiles.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you noticed our collection has grown?
Whoa, 100! I didn't notice that.
I've just been wheeling around. Well, you get a significant amount of missiles when you defeat a boss.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that I got like an increase of 50.
That's like in like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, Demon Souls. People are just trying to farm the resource there, and they have to make that choice because if you die, you lose all of those.
Yeah.
So people want to take them back to the hub, spend them, and then go back out. But once you beat a boss, you get such a crazy amount more. It's like, whatever, just beat the boss and don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Oh, also on this channel, you can check out, I'm playing Bloodborne from the introduction to meeting the Cleric Beast, the game's first boss.
You kind of want to like be around for when you play that game. I enjoyed.
I already
watching
did it. It's on the channel, my friend.
I enjoyed watching that. That game is pretty magical.
Yeah, we played that on Halloween. It's a very just 'cause it's like a spooky looking game.
Something else.
Once you get into that game, because those games are very demanding, but they're extremely rewarding. I was checking out the Golden Joystick Awards, and one of the categories was Gaming Moment of the Year.
Right.
And for me, it's after you beat a boss in Bloodborne, and this big thing goes across the screen that says "Prey Slaughtered."
Right.
And blood rains down everywhere, and you get all these, all the currency, the upgrading currency. It's called Blood Echoes. That's my gaming moment of the year. I've never felt better than when I beat one of those guys.
Right. Well, it's a proper reward.
I'd be like, like a boss in Metroid. There's Fetus Samus.
Yeah, he does that. We're at 125.
He.
It's really like making.
Can you do this game and get her to strip?
The what?
Like at the end of the game when you see her.
Oh no, I think you need to do that within a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
I might have done that like once. Like at the height of me being like I only own like X amount of video games, so I'm gonna max the fuck out of this. Well, yeah, I mean, the time I played this the most actually was weird later. It was like PS1 had already come out, but I was like, I think I was mentioning this last episode, or maybe we said it in passing after, that I largely like would go to video stores and just buy up all their old games.
Right.
And when I got Metroid, finally my own copy, because I only ever really got to see it at friends' houses as a kid, because we just had like Mario, Legendary Wings, and that other one, Iron Sword, I was talking about.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Fabio game.
Right. Was the Ice Beam again? So I got the Ice Beam again. So that's the funny thing about this game is it's in two spots. They had the Ice Beam, and they do that because deep in this level we'll get ourselves the Wave Beam, which is definitely a cool weapon, but it doesn't have the same, like, the cool thing about the Ice Beam, it's like unbeatable.
I think once you've used the Ice Beam for any length of time, you get a little spoiled by it.
Well, it's like, it becomes, it turns everything into a stepping stool.
True.
Right?
True.
And that's what becomes useful about it. It's not even that, like, you get to freeze people and be like, haha, you're done.
But, because you're constantly being overwhelmed by such a, like, huge amount of enemies.
Right.
It's nice to be able to take them out of the game instantly.
What I always liked in this game is what's about to happen now. And the same thing happened when we played, when we were in Kraid's level, is there's always an indication that you're close to the last boss, to the next boss, if, like, you do a significant drop.
Oh, okay.
Before getting to, like, where they are. So, like...
Wouldn't you love to talk to the guys that made this game and just ask every single thing about it? Oh, wow. I've never been to this one with the cue balls instead of the bubbles.
Right. Whoa. Ow. I'm really hurting here.
This guy's keeping you down. He was their last hope. Now that he's gone, clear sailing.
Oh.
Look at this gooey, disgusting stuff. So, like, pussy. This whole thing looks alive.
I feel like they were, like, largely influenced by, like, the James Cameron Alien or something.
Oh, yeah, sure. Look, even your headpiece. You look like very Geigerish.
Yeah.
Have you see that documentary on Aronofsky's Dune?
No, I'd like to, though.
It's pretty incredible. The team this guy put together to make Dune basically went on to make a whole lot of... the movie didn't end up happening, but he had a dream team with Geiger on doing the art, and they storyboarded it all and did this, like, beautiful art pieces showing the whole movie. So you basically watch the movie kind of through the documentary of talking... Oh, this is way different.
Yeah, we're in Ridley's hideout now. I think I'm going to forego the Wave Beam.
Okay.
I feel like it's...
This sounds like Mario Castle.
Right. No, I always like to forego the Way B because I feel like it's an unnecessary weapon in this game.
Okay.
It's more powerful, mind you, than the This is a nice little secret.
This game's crazy. This game is so. Does any game have more secrets than this? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, look at these guys. They look tough. They look like they're made out of
Mario
metal.
World for the N64. It's just like secret after
Mario World or Mario 64?
Mario 64. Sorry, yes, Mario 64.
Well, everything in that game is like all
secret.
puzzles. I didn't realize how like going back to it, I didn't realize how puzzly it was.
Yeah, it's a huge departure.
It really is
from anything Mario. Like,
well, I think that they realized
people think Mario 2 is. I mean, even though like you say, it's like a.
But it's still the same core mechanics of reacting and
right,
like
exactly.
platforming. Well, I think they're wise to do that because they didn't quite have the 3D technology nailed down so that you could be as precise as you could with 2D.
Right.
So they're like, well, let's just let's make it more about the environment because that's the new thing. The new thing is that you can see in 3D and you can look around, and they basically made it. You see that up there, try to find your way up there.
Right.
And they made that really fun.
Everything in Ridley's hideout is vicious. If I get hit by one of these guys, first of all, they move way quicker than the other ones. If I get hit by these things, it's like devastating. Yet, you get good power-ups from them. So
when I was playing this on an emulator, I had the shoulder button be auto fire, so it was like I was playing like a modern first-person shooter. But I found it a little easier. Oh, what?
Yeah,
how about Mega Man? You any good at Mega Man?
I'm
not.
I'm not good at it. I find it a very difficult game.
There's Mega Man 2 or 3 I think I can get to. I can beat most of the bosses, but then when I get to Dr. Willie's hideout, I find that like pretty challenging.
Mega Man 2 is the only one that I even put any much like effort into.
I like that one. I don't like the extra stuff that they added because then it's another layer you need to learn. So I like it when it's a bit more simple. Incredible music though. I probably listen to Mega Man music more than I play the game.
Yeah, no, definitely that was good music. I don't think what
probably the best soundtracks on NES.
I really like the music for Kid Icarus's like for when you're in the dungeons or whatever they want to call them in that game. Okay, that music is amazing. It's got this like total amazing like Greek funeral feel to it. Sorry to get so rattly there. There's something about it that's just so good.
Zelda.
No, this is Kid Icarus. Oh, you're saying?
I was just gonna say. What is that game called? Adventures of Link.
Adventures of Link is number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I really like the temple. The temple theme is really nice.
Yeah, that one's got some like great music. There's good like percussion in that.
Very Smooth McGroove, the acapella guy. He does a really great one of the temple theme.
Don't you just get lazy and you use missiles? You know you're gonna get them back.
Can't you just jump through these guys? Flip them?
Yeah, you can, but if
Scythe attack?
If you fuck it up, it's like...
Oh, you get damaged quite a bit?
It just kind of like ends up screwing you over and you get... At least I do. Get frustrated. This part has a nice little secret. I can like burrow underground somewhere around here so that I can avoid everybody.
Oh, nice.
Which is nice.
This is way too similar to Mario's castle theme.
The song?
Yeah. There's a lot of riffs that are like pretty.
Yeah, they pretty much came out. I guess Mario came out before.
Oh yeah. Mario was in the arcades first.
Really?
Yeah. It looked a little different, but it was Mario. It was an arcade game. I played it
that.
at some restaurant arcade in the States. Years after it had been on Nintendo.
Okay, this part always frustrates me. So, in here, I'm gonna quick save it because if I fuck this up, it's devastating. I'm pretty sure it's the center column. That the 2 rows of these are just empty and it's a gap. But I can't remember if I fall from here if I jump or if I fall from the next one.
Can you just jump into the middle of each one?
No, because I have to, I think I can jump. I think I'm supposed to jump from here.
Okay.
But it might be the next one over. I'm sort of scared.
There's no visual clues or cues.
So I'm here, so this is good actually. So no, I was right. So I can just make it across. Thank God. Because otherwise I would fall. And I would have to go through so much bullshit to get back to where we wanted to be.
It's probably the one right before it.
Yeah,
what a mean trick. Like, Especially because there's no queue. It's just, hey, you want this energy tank? You like those, don't you?
Right. I think it's one of those ones it's a good one. It teaches you to
never trust anything.
To be a little bit cautious and to know that like not every thing is going to be so clear and have a sign pointing at it to you in life. You know.
That's true.
You got to like make your own decisions. It's very Japanese.
Yeah. Take no prisoners.
You know.
They didn't like in World War II. If you surrendered to them, they thought you were a coward and they like viciously tortured you.
Right. Yeah,
They were pretty awful. They hung people by their tongues.
Wow.
Like, they were brutal to people in like Southeast Asia. When they got into the war, they started taking over some territories there.
Yeah, man, that's
But they make good video games. That's why they're like, oh, you want to surrender? That's some
vicious stuff.
If you quit a game before beating it, they should just melt the cartridge. They're like, sorry, you're too weak.
So I could go this way. I think this is the way to go. I'm gonna go this way. I know there's one more set of missiles. I don't want to get hurt too much right now anymore because I'm at full health. And to recuperate that sucks. So
just freeze everybody.
I know, but you can easily get like fucked up in this game if you have too much bravado.
Yeah.
This is where I would have fallen from.
Okay.
Where I would have fallen to if I'd messed that up. So
but isn't that a shortcut there?
No. Well, it's a shortcut if you don't want the energy tank.
Oh, the energy tank is good.
Well, yeah, it fills up all your health. See, in a moment like this is where one wants to be.
Okay.
Doing well.
Nice.
I feel like these guys are missing my freeze ray.
Oh yeah, short scythe jump.
Short jumps are great.
What other games can we do on here? We can have, we got access to most, well, we've got a healthy library of NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, PlayStation.
Right.
We can sort of look through any games that are on the, because the 90s kid has a huge collection of games for sale, like retro games.
Damn it.
So,
but that wasn't a fuck up.
So we can look through that and see what games are on there and sort of show them off to everybody. I'm doing a video on some of the earlier Street Fighter games too. So that'll be coming out probably maybe the same week that this one comes out.
Like original Street Fighter. I've never played Street Fighter 1.
Never original Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the SNES version.
Oh man,
Super Street Fighter 2
Street
Turbo.
Fighter Turbo is the only one for the NES.
And
my opinion.
And Street Fighter Alpha 3, I'm gonna do. Street Fighter 5's coming out early next year as well.
I feel like how can they really advance on that though? Like, will it be a good game? Like,
it'll be good. Street Fighter 4 was good. It was good. They
right, dude.
It's a lot of it's just kind of tweaking.
We're at Ridley.
Here it is. Okay.
And this is again another moment where having fuck's sakes, having fallen there was not good. These you can freeze, and that's why it's good to have the ice beam against this, because now I can just go and whoop his ass with some missiles.
He's not really doing too much, is he?
Not while you have his like things frozen. That's why I didn't want to get the wave beam, because I can just freeze these things.
Oh my god.
But if you sit here and try to beat him with just the ice beam and not have missiles,
yeah.
Oh my god, you'll be here for 10 days. Nope.
And the fire blocks your shots too, eh?
Oh yeah,
Unless
yeah.
they're ice. Huh. Nice.
Yep.
Well, that's going to do it for episode 2 of the Metroid playthrough. Episode 3 will be up next week, where I promise we'll beat this game. Thanks for listening to the 90s Kid YouTube channel. And until we meet again, have fun out there. Fraser Craig.
Playback, you can see me try relentless. Having
Yours?
not as
And this time with Chris.
Hello.
The Metroid Master. We're going to be finishing off these games. You know what happened? Chris went on a long trip. He went all the way over to the West Coast. We live in Toronto, the East Coast. He had some gang warfare to take care of from 1992, and he finally went around and did it. And then he went over to L.A. How was L.A., Chris?
Oh, LA was pretty great.
You like it because when you're in Toronto, you're all sniffly, and when you're in L.A., you like
You're
it
all
'cause it's
you're all,
dry.
you're all whiffly.
Is that does that ground damage you on the ground?
There's a certain part where you fall into it, and then yes, you get damaged. I didn't actually need to go into this room. Actually, it was a mistake, but that's okay. We'll just. So we're on our way now to defeat the Mother Brain, one of the most evil bosses I think in history.
Yeah, why?
Kind of creepy.
Because she's just this mother. Like, hang on a second. Is this Earth?
No, we're on the planet Zebes.
Right. Okay. So these people are on their own planet. So you've invaded.
Yeah,
And
essentially.
these are all her children, and you've murdered, I don't know, thousands of them.
Well, I think it's like there's some sort of project, that you were on this planet
Government
that was
project?
taken over by like.
Oh,
these
what were you doing?
pirates.
Extracting minerals?
There's something like that. Like I'm just.
Because all I've seen you do here is come into these people's land who are just minding their own business. No one actually comes towards you and attacks. They're just sort of going about their own
Well,
patterns.
everyone just wanted to be a flaming pumpkin, sort of rolling around a metal shaft.
That was their dream. They couldn't do it on their own on Earth, and they came here to be a flaming pumpkin. I know lots of people that have to move to be more flaming.
That's what I was doing in California.
And then you come here and you take all their energy. Where have we seen this story before?
Yeah, it sounds like some Bush era kind of stuff.
Oh, all of the eras.
Every era combined.
Although, white man.
Oh,
and you're white too.
she's so heavily and but I
and
am
then-
a woman.
Well, yeah, we send the woman to try to get the sympathy.
And I think with the speed at which
Not sympathy, sorry. They're just more. People can they like them better.
I have a feeling though that my goodness
What?
that we've cleared that we've moved at a quick enough pace to have an ending where we actually see Samus reveal herself, so that at the end of the game I disrobe and you see me in a dress.
Yeah, right. Because a Metroid, they're not familiar. There's a hidden timer going on in the background, and it's just like on minutes and seconds, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know what the various increments are. I haven't memorized that, or
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have a life, so
right. But I know
outside
that
of memorizing
we've
the
been
time
moving
in
pretty
Metroid.
quick along here to
And she does it like it's like strip poker, right? So if you win, you get her to disrobe quite a bit, and then if you don't, you just get her helmet off, right?
right. So yeah, you get her down to a
Different
bikini. I
stages.
think is the most naked you can get her
She's wearing a bikini under there.
in one of them. But I think in ours, I don't think we finished it that fast. Well, we'll see how we do.
Because the government sends her to some planet. She's like, oh, they might have beaches. I don't know.
Well, it's just like in that new Metal Gear game, how they had that hot chick. It's just they're always just the girls get a.
Did you ever hear his reasoning behind that? Was that, well, like in the lore of it, she's this type of creature that breathes through her skin, so she needs to expose a lot of it.
Right.
And she also breathes through water, so if there's ever a chance for her to get water, she just starts dancing around in it. I'm surprised they didn't say like, right, and soap and oils. Those are good for her too. So she loves to slather herself up and
Mud.
yeah. And if she wrestles with other women, that's part of their ritual too.
That's
so.
right. Never insists on condoms either.
No,
She's perfect.
she's allergic to those.
She's always just ready. I couldn't believe that. It's just they're sad,
But it became such a popular thing to cosplay. I don't know if that. I mean, that's one part of the gaming
hey.
community that is down with it.
I would love a cosplay girlfriend. I gotta say, don't have one, but man, some of them are just.
If you want to see the best quiet cosplay, her name is Angela Bermudez, and she's my favorite cosplayer because she actually goes out of her way to like embody the character using like actual acting and the makeup of it. So like the way she kind of contorts her, she does this Ripley, from Alien,
Yeah.
and the way she is able to like contort her mouth in that Sigourney Weaver.
No
you know,
way.
that like.
Oh, I need to see this.
Yeah, she's amazing. And I mean, because a lot of cosplayers, they're like, in Halloween when they're like, I'm a sexy OR nurse.
Right.
I'm a sexy accountant.
She's
not, and a lot of cosplayers do that. They just
bowling
like, I'm
attendant.
Sonic, but with boobs.
Right.
And you're, weirdly attracted. And
Of course.
But with her, she actually looks like these characters, and she embodies them, and with her body language and everything. So I can't say enough good things about her. She's incredible.
I need to see this woman.
Angela Bermudez.
She hasn't done Samus.
Oh, she'd be a great Samus.
Great Samus. Well, you know what Samus, right? All right, so there we are, back doing our our podcast.
Right.
We're on our way to Mother Brain with a lot of energy. We're feeling good.
Right, in case, because if you haven't, either you're watching the playlist of this for the first time, or maybe you've been patiently waiting, but to see the conclusion of this. We just beat the boss that looks like the guy from Alien, but with a smile.
Right. Yeah, it's a goofy grin.
And now we're off to MB, Mother Brain.
Yeah, Mother Brain is so heavily guarded, and this is the cool thing is that you finally encounter Metroids.
Right. For the whole game, you don't see a Metroid until the end.
You don't see a Metroid. And in all the Metroid
elite
games, it's always like
guard.
You find once you get to the Metroid, it's always this most creepy thing, and that must be because it's sort of like a vampire-like creature, like sucks your energy away. It doesn't kill you by hitting you; it traps you and starts to sort of slowly drain you.
Yeah. Again, I don't think these are bad people. They're just trying to make you stop. They're like, no, don't.
Well,
just relax.
My understanding, I think, is that you're right, that these creatures were native to the planet, but that, these pirates came along that you don't see in this game, but that, they're hinted at in later Metroid games that that's the case.
Right.
And that they set up this Metroid, they created this sort of, I guess they took over the planet and made everything evil. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That's typical. That's like kind of with Mario, where you're wondering, why is Mario stepping on all these guys' heads and breaking their necks?
Right.
And it's because, well, they used to be nice Toad people, but Bowser turned them evil, or Bowser created all these people.
And really, I mean, they're all dispensable because they walk off cliffs and stuff like that. Like, what kind of life does this thing have? It just a drone that moves back and forth.
Not the red shell, though.
Between two.
Red shell never jumps off the cliff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the red shell knows.
He was smart. And although in the instruction manual, I think they called him cowardly. That's like something a bully would say to make you do something. Come on, what are you scared? Do it. Do the dumb thing we're doing.
Jump off the edge. Jump off the edge. This is always my favorite. To me, this is iconic, this gold. I think I've said this in the
This
previous.
gold, this music, those guys.
So great.
And not many games had this vertical scrolling. This and what, Kid Icarus?
Yeah, but Kid Icarus was still linear. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it wasn't, it was cool. It was the game you bought if Metroid was not on the shelf.
That's the worst feeling in the world, is getting that other game.
Which I don't think happens anymore, really, does it? Like,
No,
I mean,
I've never gone under like because you go to either your massive game monster, like we have EB Games, other people have GameStop, which is funny because that used to be called EB Games in the States. Or you buy digitally, like I bought Metal Gear Solid 1 for us to play, and that'll never be sold out. It's digital, baby. It might stop being available at a time. That'll be interesting. What's going to happen in 25 years? Like, how do you play?
I wonder if we'll actually be owning these things. I mean, does it come with a PDF of the artwork when you buy it, or how does that all work? No, you don't.
I don't think so.
You don't even
but
get the
here's
manual?
the thing: even when you buy a retail copy of, say, a PS4 game, you don't get a manual.
It's all built into the game now, I guess.
Yeah, you know what you get? You get an advertisement printed on this little glossy piece of paper, just like, buy more, buy these.
Jeepers. All right, so these are our two bosses. We're gonna activate them, and now we are entering Turian. Oh wait! Oh man, I am very sorry, everybody. I got ahead of myself and realized that I probably want to get one more energy tank, which is not far.
Okay.
It's just a slight backtrack. Kind of wish I'd remember.
So the final boss is that difficult?
Oh yeah. Well, it's not even the final boss itself. It's the room around him. It's sort of a relentless, like, area of missiles and floating, glow in the burning Cheerios. That's what they look like. They look like Cheerios. That damage you incredibly. I think each one. I think that each one, takes off something like 25 hit points or something dirty like that. Yeah, going.
Well, and this was a Nintendo era game. Things were hard. This is the final layer. It should be challenging.
Should be tough, yeah.
I remember playing the final boss of Diddy Kong Racing forever. This giant pig guy, and I like if it's fair and you know where you lost. That is totally fine, and that's one of the best things that video games have that is not present in any other media. You never watch a film and then the director comes in halfway and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna ask you some questions about the main themes and characters, and if you're not paying attention, we're going to start back at the beginning of the movie until you do figure it out."
Right.
So in a way, nice. In a way, video games are like the way of getting your full vision across if you're a creator. Because unless it's a game that has branching paths, the player has to see everything you want them to see. And you can make them see it in the order you want them to see it, too.
Right.
But now Metroid's a little different. You do have to see everything, but you can approach it from different angles, right? And you can skip past some things.
I think we
Secrets.
need to play Metroid Prime. I think we need to do that.
Yeah,
game.
I finally have the capture software that we can just put it right into the Wii, and we can do it there.
Yep, that is one hell of a game.
Yeah.
As far as like an extension of this series went, it was perfect. And I feel like they just dropped the ball ever since. Like the one that came out afterwards, so needlessly complicated. The Wii one, I don't even remember playing it. There was one for the DS that was like a Prime. It was insane. You had to use the D-pad and the like stylus at the same time.
Okay.
This is like how? Who made this? Obviously, someone without like a heart.
So would the stylus be your mouse?
I think it was like,
like the right
like
joystick.
how you had to shoot. You know, it was just too much. It wasn't enjoyable. Whereas like the GameCube Prime, that was just a perfect game.
Even the GameCube controller looks like it belongs in Metroid.
It sort of does. Yeah, I can see that.
It's a beautiful controller and nicely designed. How they. I really liked the GameCube, and it was a shame that it was
so short-lived.
Purple and kind of got thought of as a kids game, a kids console because.
I have a black one.
Oh, cool! Because it had a lot of great adult games. It had Resident Evil 4. That's why I played Resident Evil 4, and it had what was that game like Eternal Darkness, which was sort of a psychological crazy game.
I had a really fun game for that game for GameCube called Beautiful Joe.
Oh yeah, fantastic game.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great console, and it was powerful too. It was actually more powerful than the. I think it might have been more powerful than the PS2.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, Metroid.
So the key here is I used to sit here and waste time fighting all these Metroids, but now I'm just gonna. Oh no! No! That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, we just want to freeze them.
Okay.
We don't want to waste missiles as we need them for the final fight.
Right.
This is the only door in the game that takes 10 missiles. Orange.
It's almost like it's preparing you that you need lots of missiles.
You automatically get hurt there, so you could never enter this level with no health.
With no hits, with
like
perfect health.
Like with
Whoa, close one. How long do they stay frozen for?
Long enough. I don't really know.
Is this some of the only metal in the game?
Metal?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the gold level is pretty metallic.
That's true. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
I wouldn't go that far.
Thank you.
All right, so we're at
wasted a missile.
135. Yeah, I think it takes 75 missiles to beat Mother Brain. And plus you have to shoot all these things, and you don't get any more missiles while you're fighting her.
Okay.
So she is...
Whoa.
Come on, man. She's tough. Well, she herself is actually not tough. She's kind of just like useless. It's just a brain attached to a bunch of cables.
Right. So she's throwing everything she has at you right now.
Right.
All her defenses.
You can just get stuck there. I keep wasting missiles. All right.
129 going to be enough?
We're very close. Oh, yeah. We're very close.
What do you have to go in there with?
We'll be fine.
Well, what's the minimum you can go in there with and do it?
I don't really know. I've never made that calculation, to be honest with you.
I think I already frozen. That's strange.
I think you just caught one of my shots.
Oh, I didn't know they had that off-screen memory.
All right, so here we are. We'll do a little
This is it.
quick save, and here we go.
Okay. Best of luck, Chris. Holy moly.
So you might want to fill in the void of talking here because this
Yeah,
is
no.
so intense. While I fight this boss, you have to gotta get through these gates.
right. We got a few of these gates. You just worry about playing, buddy. That's all you gotta worry about. I've never beaten Metroid as a kid.
All right.
I would have never gotten this far. This game made me feel uncomfortable.
Well, it is a little bit terrifying.
It almost looks like an evil factory, like you're inside the workings of some giant monster.
I always feel like these are like her, like blood lifelines or something. Like I don't know. It's like it's feeding her. Ooh. All right. Really need to. I think it's 50 missiles actually to kill Mother Brain, not 75.
Wow, okay. I hope so, because we're at...
Yeah.
in the
No, I'm pretty
70s.
sure it's. But it's a tough battle, man. I'm not. Whoa! It just sped up again there. Whoa!
Oh. Is that throwing you off?
And these things grow back.
Oh, shoot.
You don't get them.
Okay. Yeah, hop through. You're at 57. This
Wow.
is... Uh-oh. How are you going to do it?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. We might have to redo this. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Oh boy. Really?
Was that good to fall into the
No,
lava there?
not really. This is tough to get out of.
What is going on?
Oh, dude! Yeah. You missed her dying. But you'll see it on the recording. So now I have eat the Mother Brain, and all I have to do is race up this platform.
Okay.
They make it pretty hard.
But that timer is flying down. Those are not Earth seconds.
No.
Those are like the seconds in Interstellar when they're on that planet that age, the time moves like 9 times fast.
I haven't seen it yet, but no, you keep telling me I should.
Oh.
I know, you've seen it like 3 times.
Yeah, it's not a perfect movie. There's some really cheesy bits. I don't particularly like the ending. I think the original ending would have been better. But it's in terms of a real like fun thrill ride, a movie you want to see with like great sound.
Yeah. Much like the new Star Wars.
Yeah, you want to see it with. But Interstellar you need like the immersive sound. It needs to be loud. No people talking. I'd say like watch it with headphones on your computer or
Oh, that was
a big
nothing.
screen and
Here we are. Game ended.
Oh, okay. See, I've played. I've never seen this part, but I played the beginning of Super Metroid.
Let's see if we made it. Did we make it with enough time?
Great. You fulfilled your mission. It will revive peace in space, but it may be invaded by the other Metroid. Pray for a true peace in space. Skinny exclamation mark. Skinny Metroid legs.
Oh.
Come on, show us the goods, lady.
Yes.
Woo!
We did get her disrobed.
Hey. So Irish looking.
Oh yeah.
And no eyebrows.
Well, Japanese
Renaissance
fantasy.
woman.
And I think now we just get credits. And that was that. So if you want, we can watch playback. You can see me try relentlessly to beat this Mother Brain.
I'll see it
Which
plenty.
is
I'll see it plenty when I'm editing.
so difficult. You're gonna have to find a way to
Music
make it.
by Hip Tanaka.
I wish that was my name. But I think we should have a band called Hip Tanaka.
Main programmers GPZ Sengoku.
I used to want to be these people when I was a kid.
Look at how many people work in this game. 15?
Yeah. And and the fun they must have had.
Special thanks to people that only have one name.
I do like the way that the credits wrap up here and go back to the original title screen. It's like this sounds so epic. Like, yes, you won the game, man. And then it just goes back to, oh yeah, invasion by another Metroid. Like all Metroids have these like
This is happy. The happiest song we've heard so far.
happy, and then as soon as the credits are over, it's just gonna be like dum, dum.
Oh, great job, Nintendo.
86. I was 5.
Yeah?
5 years old.
Did you beat it when you were 5?
I played this game for the first time when I was 7.
Okay.
And I watched a friend play it more because I didn't own it. Look at that. It's even the Kid Icarus at the end writing.
Oh, right.
Very strange.
They ran out of room.
It just doesn't look very Metroid, that.
No, not at all. No cursive. There's not even...
See if the song just wraps out.
Ah!
And then
That's a cheeky little thing at the end.
back to the game.
Is it a new game plus?
Oh yeah,
Look at her!
Yeah, now we're like this. And I think that there might be some variations, or I'm not really sure. Yeah, see the ball's not here. There's a second ending. I've never cleared it the second way.
Really?
Never have.
Oh, she's so pretty.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to save
It's
this.
so thin looking compared to the big bulky armor. Do you take more damage because you're not wearing armor?
I have all my weapons though. Like that's the thing. I just don't have energy tanks, and I don't know where any of them are.
Oh, they're new. They're
I've
new
never,
places.
yeah, everything's in new places. I've never done Second Quest Metroid before. I remember you could enter a code, something like Maria 77777777777, something like that, and it would like start you off in this alternate. Because normally there's like a thing there. Oh, there is. Okay, so I could still get that energy tank. Well, that's pretty cool.
So I wonder if, like, the green has become, like that's a natural hair color in the future, or is this in this type of Earth, or if it's, oh, well, he survived, or if she's just like a wild child, you know, she like dyes her hair green. They're like, we need to find the perfect soldier. But these regular soldiers, they don't have what it takes, and she was in like the toughest punk band at the time.
Just put Pussy
And
Riot.
they recruited her.
Oh, that was
we need
brutal.
You to join the military, the space military.
Get back here. Wait. No, don't kill him. Not high enough? Oh, that's the worst. Ooh.
That was
We had a little glitch.
Flatlined.
Yeah, no kidding. We need him to come back. I'm very curious, but I feel like, we should end the episode.
All right, that was Metroid and a little bit of New Game Plus. If you want to see any more of New Game Plus, let us know using the internet. We will accept...
I will only accept snail mail. Actually.
Snail mail. You want to give your address up?
I don't get a postcard. No, you guys need to find it. That's your mission.
It's not hard. It's the internet, right?
Right.
So. All right. Bye-bye.
Great.